Hello, hello, lovely fixers. Welcome, everybody. Hello, hello. Lovely to see you guys. Hope you guys are doing well. Very busy night, guys. It's a freaking Super Saiyan bargain sale with how much stuff's going on. The freaking kit review took like 30 minutes. It took also like an hour and a half for it to even come out. So, like, I wouldn't be surprised if you're still watching the video. But yeah, by the way, we did the kit review like 30 minutes ago. And, like, so that came out, and then this is right here. Like, I'm flooding the page. Just classic Kim Ji-hoon mentality. You know how it be, you know. We love giving you guys content. So, like, W. If you guys didn't know, first of all, welcome, everyone. Hello, hello. First of all, lovely to see you all, guys. Hope you're doing well. It is at the beginning of the week, which is normally, mid. But, you know, it is what it is. Can I start in 20 minutes? I didn't get notified of my video? Oh, yeah, sure, no worries. Okay, no. Alright, bit's over. We did the bit. Uncomfortable silence. So, yeah, guys, we got posted a video. You can check it out after, if you want. We will be going over the IDs here as well, so don't you worry. We're also actually, I should probably get the actual image up first. Hold on. Boom. Right, we will be going over everything today, guys. So we are going to be going over patch. We're going over the Walpurgis patch. That was an uncomfortable silence. Yeah, pretty much. We will be going over the Walpurgis patch. We will be going over the base patch. We will also be going over the event. We will also be going over Ishmael and Gregor at the end of that, right? Because if you want my initial reaction and if you want an initial viewing, check the video out after. Or now if you want. I mean, I don't know what's better, to be honest with you. So, we're going to be discussing it in more detail. So if you want to hear it more detail first and then get an impressions later, you can go there, you go here, go everywhere, right? So, but we're here now. And that is what we will be doing, obviously. Adjust my thing a little bit. And we're just going to wait a little bit before we start, because I want everyone, obviously I want people to, you know, give some people some time to show up. We just started, you know. We'll wait, because I know a lot of people want to come in for the discussions. We're also going to be doing the discussions first, because that's the newest thing, right? Like, compared to the video. We'll do the discussions first, and then after that, we'll do the ID talk after. So, things to note, I guess, immediately off the bat, before we actually start going into the patch. Walpurgis will be this week. It will last 2 weeks, obviously. Hello. We'll be getting both IDs, obviously 2 IDs upcoming, and there will be an event called the Enconfile event, which we will explain. I obviously don't try and spoil myself for what's in the notice, so besides taking a quick glance just to get a very, 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 and I'm talking very minor brief, of, like, what to expect. So I know a little bit about the Enconfile event, so we'll talk about that. And then we'll talk about the IDs after. This is my first Walpurgis. Any tips on what I should look out for? Pull to your heart's content. BBH, that's okay, so we're near the end of the season right now, okay? End of the season, all your boxes are going to get cut, all your shards are going to get cut. The only thing that you're really going to have is pulls. Walpurgises are usually every 4 to, you know, around 4-ish months, 3 to 4 months, typically. There's 2 banners that exist for this Walpurgis, which we'll talk about. There's the main banner and then the secondary banner. You get rewards. You know how it be, how it do. So you can choose if you want to get this banner or you want to get a different banner. Depends on your team. You can only pull on... you can pull on any... you can dispenser any ID and ego from any previous Walpurgis except the current one. So, like, for example, these IDs you will not be able to shard. You have to wait. If you have something you really want, now's the chance to do it. Use all your shards. I would say pull first to your heart's content, and then shard everything after. Alright. Well, shall we start getting into the patch notes, guys? What do you think? Let's have a little read, shall we? So I guess we'll start with the Walpurgis Night. I feel like that's fair. So we're going to obviously discuss the Walpurgis Night, and then I'll give you a brief on it, and then we'll go over it again. So, new event, the 7th Walpurgis Night. On November 6th, new content, the 7th Walpurgis Night, will be added to the game. The event period will last, obviously, from the 6th all the way to the 20th, so 2 weeks. And a bit. 14, yeah, about 2 weeks. Right, so 2 weeks, and on the 20th, and this is also probably when we'll get RR1 Bokak, by the way. So there's a pretty high chance we'll probably get RR1 Bokak at that time. But, so what do we have here? New content, we have Announcer Gebra. Yippee. We have a 3-star Zhong Office Rep Ishmael, or how we are probably going to refer to it, just Hanafuda Ishmael. And we also have Night Owl's Capitano Grego, aka Alan Grego. Notice, extraction rate changes during the event period. During Walpurgis Night event, extractable announcers will be added to the game. Obviously, this is like the Walpurgis announcers. Due to this addition, the extraction rates for certain extractions will be changed while Walpurgis Night is active. In compliance with the Volatile Restraint guidelines for probabilistic items of the gambling, blah, 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 blah. All this is, okay, so TLDR, what this is saying is announcers are acquitted with the 2-star pool. Remember, announcers do not count for 3 stars. Announcers are 2 stars. So if you get a 2-star chance, it pretty much you have the same chance for an announcer. Next season will be Christmas, guys, December 25th. Yes, Walpurgis is this week. It is like this like in 3 days we will have Walpurgis. But yeah, so announcers count for 2 stars in the slot. They do not affect 3 stars. So yeah, 3 stars are all fine. So, announcers have 2-star odds? Yes, announcers have 2-star odds. So they do not affect 3 stars. And honestly, 2 stars announcers actually kind of, in my humble opinion, getting duplicate announcers is a lot better than getting duplicate 2 stars. Getting duplicate announcers gives you 50 thread crates. 50 thread crates for a duplicate announcer. You know how many thread that is? That's a lot of thread for a duplicate announcer. You know what you get for a duplicate 2-star? 25 shards. Bruh, really? 25 shards? Fuck that. Anyway, extractions. The 7th Walpurgis Night target extraction. The 7th Walpurgis Night target extraction will be featured over the event period. The feature will feature increased extraction rate for the following new identities and announcers. We have, obviously, Ishmael, Gregor, and Gebua. Please note that the 7th Walpurgis Night extraction and the 2nd and 3rd extraction Bokak are separate extractions and are featured different improved rates. Also, note how they're calling this the target extraction Bokak. I don't remember if they call these Bokaks, but yes. As you can see, guys, the 2nd and 3rd Walpurgis Night target extraction Bokak. So, we have 2 banners here. The 2nd and 3rd night target Bokak will be featured over in the period. This will feature increased extraction rates for the following IDs, egos, and announcers. We have Magic Bullet Otis, Dawn Office Sinclair, Lantern Don Quixote, Sanguine Desire Roger, and Wingbeat Fishmail. So, if you want to pull on these IDs, you do this banner. If you want to pull on these, you do this banner. Please note that the 7th Walpurgis and the 2nd and 3rd are separate and feature different improved rates. Yay. Identities and egos. Extractions. During the event period, all current and previous Walpurgis Night identities and ego will be extractable from the following extractions. Walpurgis Night ID and ego. The 7th Walpurgis Night target extraction. The 2nd and 3rd target extraction, new manager welcome extraction, assured extraction, IDs, identities, and standard extractions. What does this mean? This is how you can access any of the Walpurgis IDs. When they could just shard? Maybe you might not have the shard, but you might have the lunacy. As you can see, here is the pool for all of the Walpurgis events and ego IDs. We have Ishmael, Gregor, in Lobotomy Ego Don, Lobotomy Ego Roger, Full Stop Lou, Full Stop Heath, Lobotomy Yisang, Lobotomy Ryoshu, Dawn Office Sinclair, Lobotomy Otis, Lobotomy Faust. Lobotomy Don, Hook Office Lou, Ego Don, In the Name of Love and Don, well, I guess Queenie Don, Ego Sanguine Desire Roger, Magic Bullet Ego Otis, Solemn Lament Ego Gregor, Wingby Ishmael Ego, and Regret Mersault Ego. Extraction. Increased extraction rate. The 7th Walpurgis identities receive increased extraction rates for the 7th Walpurgis. Affected identities, the 7th Republis, and all of the IDs that follows. This is just telling you guys, yes, all of this is extracted. You get higher rates. Announcers. During the event period, all current and previous Walpurgis Night announcers will be extractable from the following extractions. Obviously, the 7th Walpurgis and the 2nd and 3rd. Increased extraction rate. The 7th rate will also increase the rate for the announcers. That's simple. You guys obviously know that. Gabber announcers also being their increased rates. We also have, if you're pulling on the 2nd and 3rd banner, you have Malcute, Pierre Jack, Yasad, and Molar. So I guess if you need announcers, you might want to pull on this a little bit. Yes. Here we go. The announcer extraction rate does not affect the rate of 3 stars. However, 2 and 1 units have lower extraction rates to make room for the announcer extraction rate. A duplicate of an already owned announcer will automatically be converted to 50 thread crates. Alright, so it takes over 2 and 1. So 2 and 1 are lowered, which is good because you don't want 2 or 1 stars. And you pretty much get 50 crates. 50 thread crates is a lot of crates. I like that. Now we have extractions, the Yisang Exchange. The following IDs and egos will be available from the 7th Walpurgis target extraction Yisang Exchange. What's the Yisang Exchange? If you don't know, the Yisang Exchange is 200 thread. 200 pulls. Once you get 200 pulls, you get a free ID. So pretty much everyone gets added to the ID. You can add grab ego, you can grab anything. As you can see here, all the announcers. All of that juicy stuff. Simple, you don't need to know this. Dispenser! Here is the big one. During the 7th Walpurgis Night, you can purchase all IDs and egos in the previous events. However, IDs featured in the ongoing event, which is the main one, cannot be purchased from the dispenser. And announcers also are not featured in dispensers, which is kind of the big thing here. Like, if you like announcers, you can't get them from dispensers. Here's everything from the dispenser. You have the magical girls. You have the egos, and all the previous IDs. Codion, the most important one for most people will probably be like Rodion. The Lobotomy magical girls. You have the full stops, Solemn Laments, Ryoshu, Dawn Office, Magical Otis, Lobotomy, and all the egos. Limited linked content and confined spending event. Now, this is the most. Is it worth the gamble? It's always worth the gamble on Walpurgis, yes. On Walpurgis, there's no reason for you not to gamble. You pretty much gamble until you get the current stuff or what you want, and then shard the rest. Now, this is the most important thing here, because this is completely new. This is the Enconfallen spending event. Linked content. The Enconfallen spending event. A certain library's general invitation will be introduced with the start of the event. Obviously, from the period of the 6th to the 20th, which is 2 weeks, the exchange will obviously be opened 1 week more, and you get access to this instantaneously after the tutorial. Description. With the start of the event, the Enconfallen event, general invitation page will be added to the game. So this is the event. Every Enconfallen spent during the event period, save for those spent to assemble Enconfallen modules, will be recorded. And you can earn various rewards based on how much Enconfallen was spent. As you can see here. Enconfallen, the rewards that include thread, EXP, tickets, decorations, and cosmetics, all related to the Walpurgis. The amount of Enconfallen spent during the event will be recorded. Once the event closes, it will no longer be recorded. Reward claims will be open for 3 weeks. Now, what the fuck is all this about? As you can see here, spending Enconfallen to assemble modules does not count toward your Enconfallen count. However, all Enconfallen and modules spent in story, Luxcavations, mirror dungeons, and railways will count toward the spending event. Each module counts as 20 spent. And if you've started the main story mirror dungeon prior to the beginning of the event, if you've consumed the modules after the maintenance, you will still count. If you've completed RR prior to the beginning of the event, if you have not claimed the rewards, spending the modules will still count. So if you haven't done anything yet, pretty much. Now, if we open this bad boy up and we have a little looky, because it actually shows us here, you can see the max amount of Enconfallen is 3,000 Enconfallen, which is 150 modules. Now, guys, you might start freaking out. Oh my goodness, 150 modules? That's insane. Okay, it sounds insane when you say it out loud, but think about how much you actually spend during a day, okay? You spend 3 modules on XP, and you spend 2 modules per thread. Right? So, 9 modules on dailies. And let's assume you do your 3 weeklies, which I'm trying to remember how much all the weeklies count together. I think it's like 17 modules. I think, how much is is it 25 modules for a full hard mode clear? I believe it's 25 modules, right? I think it's something like 25, right? 25 modules spent on a on a hard mode clear, right? You're looking at, what, 9 a day for a week, right? So 9 times 7. 63, so 63 modules. So 63 plus 25, right? 63 plus 25, which is, what, 70, 80, 63, 86, 87, 88 modules. So if you just do the minimum, you spend 88 modules a week. Right? 25 for extreme and 18 for hard. Perfect. So, if you do an extreme and just do 1 XP in all your thread without skipping, right? You will spend 88. You didn't mention that Ishmael gets on-hit Tremorverse on the entire score that you matched with Infinity. Did I not mention that? I swear I did. Maybe I didn't. No, we're doing the ID discussion last. When will the update come out? This Thursday. So, 88 a week. You have to spend 150. In 2 weeks, you will have done it. Now, you can speed this up if you do skipping. Right? If you want to do a little skipping here and there, or if you do more than... I didn't. I swear I'm... Oh, okay. Well, I guess we'll discuss it here then. Even if you don't have evidence, still 150 is light work. Yeah. So, it's doable, but you got to be active. I'll spend 150 in 1 day with XP? Yeah, pretty much. Even if you do 2 to 3 XPs a day, no skipping, you'll have easily enough. It's a lot on paper. It sounds like a lot on paper, but when you actually realize how much you can spend over the course of 2 weeks, it's fine. And that being so meta, also, how did I not mention that? That's crazy. I'll have to obviously look at that again. On the unit overview, no. So we'll be talking about the unit overview after we talk about the patch notes. So don't you worry. I'm flooded with resources. Yeah. If you have resources, you're going to fill this out in like 1 week. Right? But that is going to be the gimmick of this Walpurgis night. For 2 weeks, if you spend Enconfallen, and this also includes doing the story, like doing stories and stuff. So if you're a new player, you're going to be even easier. Yeah, you're going to have even an easier time. Obviously, right? And, yeah. So we're going to quickly go over it again, just to let you guys know. For anyone who just joined, obviously. Let me adjust some things real quick. Perfect. Okay. So quick recap on, that's the end of the page, by the way. Yeah, that's the end of the page. So, did I miss anything? No. The quick TLDR on the Walpurgis event. There are 2 banners coming out. We have the 7th target extraction, which is the main banner, and the sub banner, which is the 2nd and 3rd Bokak. You have higher rates for either of these, depending on what you want. You are able to dispense any ID that is not the current banner. So anything that is not the current Walpurgis, you can dispense. If you want a list, here's the list. There you go. Here's the list if you need it. Try to dispense for magical Dogon if you wanna. Reminder that they come every 3 to 4 months, right? So, and will most likely not get delayed, hopefully, anymore. Ugh. Hello, everyone. Welcome. So, yeah. So, you know, dispense that. And then we have the Enkenvalen event. If you spend Enkenvalen, even modules, if you just spend the modules, you will progress toward your Enkenvalen. This gives you stuff like thread, XP, pulls, banners, all that juicy stuff. It looks like the first ticket is at 240 as well. So, you need 150 modules to spend in 2 weeks, which will definitely be easy. What do you think we'll get after this? Well, great question. No sharding IDs at all? No, you can't. Walpurgis, you've never been able to... you can never shard the current stuff in Walpurgis, ever. Arcanines just took the same thing. So Arcanines took it from the Walpurgis, but the difference is obviously there's multiple Walpurgises, so... Ugh. Line 1 Bokak? Yes, there will be RR1 Bokak, guys, after the season ends. Now, that's pretty much the TLDR for that. So we're going to quickly have a look over the initial patch, and then we're going to get right into discussions, okay? So this is the patch. This is the Walpurgis patch, but this is not the Walpurgis event, right? So this is the main banner. So we have the November 6 scheduled updates. You can get rewards by spending Enkenvalen. Yes, if you spend Enkenvalen, you just get rewards. You have to consume the modules or consume the Enkenvalen. Right, so we have the 6th scheduled update notice. We obviously have the new banners for the Walpurgis. We have the 2 Walpurgis banners. New packages as per usual. No. So, Enkenvalen... Okay. Making modules does not count. Spending Enkenvalen to assemble modules does not count. You have to consume the module. All Enkenvalen and modules spent count, and modules count as 20. So 1 module equals 20 Enkenvalen. You just have to use the module pretty much. So which you use modules for everything. Hello everyone, welcome. And that counts over here. So bug fixes and improvements we have. Let's have a look here. An issue where skills that gain coin power at coin start. Okay, so that's a W Corp Heathcliff bug. T Corp Otis sprite bug. Okay. Assist attacks would not trigger if the ally for an unopposed attack had 0 skill 1s. Yep, that was, I remember that bug was fixed. Certain ego gifts would incorrect activately and consume counts when an ally's shield took damage. Swishling fuel tank and unhatched embers. G-gang bolus. Interesting. Fixed issue where the effects of the ego gift flush did not apply on shields. Korean issue. Okay, pretty much not a lot that I see here. Honglu to remain oneself will load. Yeah, fix an issue where in a certain choice apply to all units. Fix an issue where victory cry and defeat well did not trigger. Text loading animations. The resource download menu speed would indicate show an abnormal value. Issue where the player deletes their account and creates a new account. Their deleted account's event mission progress remained. Where players were made to enter the window UI. JP fix, English fix. Collaboration limited filter visible. Okay, so really not. Oh, what's this? JP issue. An issue where the Enkenvalen spent text in the spending menu is written out in English. Okay, so pretty much not much. So nothing really major here. 300 lunacy as per usual. So yeah, the main patch is pretty tame actually. So the main thing is obviously going to be the Walpurgis discussion, the Walpurgis event. So with that out of the way, we are now going to begin talking about the IDs. Now, if you haven't seen the video, I'm going to go over everything like I did in the video. Pretty much going to just go over it, and then we'll talk to you guys. So, first things first, we're going to talk about Hanafuda Ishmael. She is the main banner, obviously, right? This is the main banner, right? So, we're going to discuss this first. So, Ishmael is a mono slash. Now, something I forgot to mention in the actual video, I don't know why, I didn't realize it in the main video. She's got 5 affinities. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know why that didn't trigger in my head. Like, I didn't even notice it. Yeah, she's got 5. This is the first 5 affinity ID in the game. We have Wrath, we got Sloth, Gluttony, Envy, and Pride. So we got a full rainbow of affinities here with Ishmael, which is probably very fitting because she is going to be gambling. She is mono slash. She's very cute. Obviously, that's a, you know, she can pretty much fuel every ego. Yeah, she can pretty much fuel all her own ego. A full house, one might even say. True. Her first skill, all right, is a 2-coin Wrath that has an on use. If the other skill in the same skill slot is a different skill, discard that skill. On use, gain coin power for every tremor sinking on the target. And then the first coin inflicts sinking count twice, one on hit use and one on head, right? Which, by the way, I feel like this is wrong, by the way. I didn't even read this properly. Why does this say on use? This is a typo, guys. We found a typo. I didn't even notice that in my video. This says on use inflicting on the coin. Obviously, that's meant to be on hit inflict sinking count. This is supposed to be head hit on inflict sinking count, on hit inflict tremor count, head hit inflict tremor sinking count. So, at the very minimum, the absolute bare minimum, yeah, she is a discard unit. We'll be talking about that in a second. Throne of Lunacy, thank you, Kim Ji-hun. What if it really is on use? That would be very interesting. Because that would make it a positive. What if it's on purpose? I have a very sinking, funny feeling that it's not on purpose. So, already, let me tell you one thing. This is like amazing. Okay? So, why is this amazing? Well, number one, she's literally neutral at the bare minimum on sinking. For a skill 1, which is pretty good. Assuming you hit heads. Oh no, you have to hit heads. Okay. Boohoo. Well, you hit heads, that's a literal minimum 1/1. Now, you know, she was forced to inflict sinking. The suite is supposed to be pronounced like suit. It's supposed to be like suit. I always called it sweet. But I guess it's suit, whatever. Suit, sweet. Inglés no hablo inglés. Espanol. So, the big thing, however, is this. Typically, discard will work on the lowest or highest ranking skill. In this version, however, if this other skill in the same skill slot is a different skill, discard. So what does this mean? Suite is a room in a hotel. Minor grammar mistake. Suit. I'll make sure to remember that. Suit. In the so what does this discard mean? So this discard means, right? Okay. That if you have 2 skill 1s, it doesn't discard the skill 1. Because the other skill has to be different. Right? So if it's S1, S2, and you use S1, it'll get rid of the S2. If it's S1, S1, and you use S1, it does not get rid of S1. Now, that's not very good. Because you want to get rid of your S1s. However, there's a big difference here. There's a reason why you might want to do that, right? You might want to keep it like that, and we'll get to that. She also has 2 tremor count. I mean, look, tremor count is not something you should be stressing about, especially with modern tremor units. However, we'll get there. Reason why? It has to do with the passive. We'll get there in a second. Second skill. This is a Sloth 3-coiner. Okay. We have the same conditional, right? If another skill in the same skill slot is different, discard. And gain coin power for every tremor and sinking on target. The base coins, however, is on the first coin, it will inflict double potency on head and hit. The second will inflict tremor. And the third one will heal SP. Ooh, a little bit of an SP heal. I'm not really sure how much SP that will heal. Maybe 5 SP, maybe 10 SP. Probably not 10 SP. Probably like 5 SP for a skill 2. I wouldn't be surprised. Probably like 5 SP. I wouldn't be surprised for a Walpurgis unit. 5 or 3. Anyway, this is fine. It's just potency. This is the count skill. This is the potency skill. It probably rolls good. Now notice, there's not any damage modifiers, and there's only 1 coin power. So it is coin power. It's not like clash power or anything. So there is coin power. It'll most likely be like a +2 or something. So far, not a lot of damage modifiers, but the damage modifiers will come in later. There's a big reason for that. Now we move on to skill 3 pretty much right after. Now this is the big move. We have a 3-coin gloom. Deal more damage based on the bright. Now we will talk about what bright potency is. This is a new status. We'll talk obviously. We have the on use, same thing, discard everything else that is not that skill, coin power, yada yada. First coin will inflict both tremor and sinking count, but on heads it'll inflict more sinking count. The second coin inflicts tremor and sinking potency, but also tremor count. And the third one, if the target is in either amplitude conversion or entanglement, deal more damage. However, if you are not in entanglement or conversion, convert tremor into tremor decay. Wow. Alright, guys. Tremor decay, if you are not aware, is from Weefy Heathcliff. And it's pretty much minus defense level, defense level down. A lot of defense level down for free, as long as you sit on the tremor. So, very good. It's very good. So like, let me tell you guys. I understand that reverb exists. Okay, I get it. Trust me, I understand. Reverb exists. However, tremor decay, dude. Tremor decay is like a gabillion fragile. I think it's what do you call it? I think it has a cap of like minus 27. I think it's like 10 fragile. It's pretty big. You know? If you don't have tremor bursts, which, don't worry, we'll get to tremor bursts in a second. This is just... Decay is good for the whole team. Alright, decay is good for the whole team. Right? Reverb is good for tremor burst units. However, that's not all. As we move on to the big boy skill 3-2 Kuzan. This is a very big skill, which we'll understand more of when we actually read how the passive works, okay? It makes sense that she has decay, that is true. She is under the Wi-Fi. Kuzan is a 1-coin unclashable. This skill does not trigger defense skills. External effects cannot trigger reuse. Now, before we begin, yes, you cannot reuse with the skill. However, you don't want to reuse with the skill. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, they're making it so you can't do any of the fun single coin reuses. No. Trust me on this. This skill would be horrible if it triggered the coin. Okay? Just like the Faust bow. It would not be good. Okay? The reason for this is because Bright is very important. And losing all your Bright for no reason, because you don't even get the best of it, sucks. And I'll explain why. Because this is a conditional skill 3, okay? You need to hit a specific conditional. We'll talk about it in a second. Yeah, you can't even use it. Why? At less than 3 Bright, cancel the skill and gain attack power up. So you can't even use the skill. Okay? You have to have a Bright limit. However, free attack power up. Here's the big thing. On use, at 3 plus Bright, you gain the following effects based on the potency. 1, per potency, you gain more damage. At 4 potency, you gain 5 base power. And at 5 potency, on hit with the final coin, you trigger Tremor Burst. Okay? Now, this isn't 5 plus, so this is 5 flat. So we know that Bright has a potency of 5. Okay, and it is unclashable. Right? So 5 has it's free attack power, but then you lose out on coin on your other units, right? So like, I'd rather like my other unit, I'd rather someone else with an actual damaging coin trigger it. Now, this has a max of 5 because this isn't 5 plus, this is saying at 5. All right, skill end, all the Bright will die. However, you'll see the first little bit of confusing text. Next turn, you convert the suit in this unit's hand to a random suit that corresponds to one of this unit's base attack skills. What the f does that mean? We'll get to that in a minute. Skill end, you gain Bright potency next turn equal to the number of coins that were not used. So obviously, the worse you use it, the better you get, right? Here are what the effects do. Reuse this coin, Bright potency minus 1 time. That means you reuse this coin 4 times. You reuse this coin 4 times at max value because the max value is 5. You inflict Tremor count and you inflict Sinking count. You also inflict defense level down, just on use. Okay? And you refund it. If you have max, obviously, you don't get the refund. You only get 1. But so far, this is a very strong move. Now, how do we activate this move? Well, as you can see, this move needs Bright, right? So we need Bright. It is a 5-hit skill. I feel like it's got to do some damage. I mean, like, right? Like, how can it not do some damage? Is it like 5 coiner? Even if the numbers rolled low, like if it rolled 5. If it had like 5 base power at plus 5 coin power, that's still a lot of coin power, right? And it's also sinking count, so you know that this is minimum neutral. All right, this has to be a minimum neutral because it's sinking count, right? So even if it's plus 1 sinking count, it's a minimum neutral, right? So I think this is going to be good, but we'll talk about how we actually get this. The most important part you have to remember is this text here. Convert the suit in this hand to a random suit that corresponds to one of this unit's base skills. We'll talk about that in a second. Then you have the defensive. So this is important, right? Because remember how I spoke about the discard. Okay? So this is important. We have a Pride 2-coiner called Shuffle Hands. Let me tell you, it shuffles. Okay? Clashable counter combat start. Discard the X amount of skills of the lowest rank in all of this unit's skill slots. Okay? All of this unit's skill slots. Okay? Combat start. If the skill was equipped on the unit's most left skill slot, next turn, convert the suit in this unit's hands on self to a random suit that corresponds to one of this unit's base attack skills. We'll have to talk about what that means when we come back from the passives. All you need to know is, if you don't like the suit that you have, you can shuffle it. Okay? Then we have gambling added to Limbus. There is a combat start % chance to gain Bright. So if you get lucky, I guess you have a chance to also gain Bright. For fun. So if you re-roll your suit, you might also get a little bit of Bright. That would be nice. That helps. It's not obviously 100% guaranteed. We don't even know what the percentage might be, but it might be like, I don't know, 40%, 50%. Surely it wouldn't be less than 50. I don't understand any of it. We'll come back to it. Don't worry. And it inflicts a bit of sinking count and tremor potency. All right. So whatever. Now, all of this talk about suits and cards and my hand, bro. Am I playing poker or am I playing Limbus Company? Great question. We're going to be talking about the most important part of her kit, the passives. So, first things first, we have to talk about Kui Kui. Kui Kui is very wordy. Turn start. If this unit does not have Bright, you gain 0 Bright potency and 3 Bright count. Turn start. If this unit does not have a suit in hand, gain a random suit. There are Pine Crane suit, Suzuki Grass suit, and Blue Sakura suit. That corresponds to a base attack skill. on the unit's leftmost skill. Skill 1 is the Pine Crane, skill 2 is the Grass Suit, and skill 3 is the Sakura Suit. Use the counter? No, it's on combat start, so it doesn't matter. Combat start means you don't have to use the counter. Does bright counter charge? No, it's probably just a separate status. But what does all this do? Like, what the fuck is bright? What the fuck are these suits? Okay? So, here is the big thing. Alright? Here's the big thing. Combat start. When this unit uses a base attack skill or an ego from its leftmost slot, activate the following. Next turn, convert the hand on self to one of the corresponding to the skill's use affinity. If the skill was either Sakura Sen or an ego skill, gain bright potency. If the skill's affinity matches the affinity of the current hand's description, forming a hand, activate the following. Gain bright potency. If the hand formed the last turn and this turn is in succession, gain bright potency. On hit with said skills, you will trigger Tremor Burst, then reduce the Tremor count. You also have a % chance to gain ego resources corresponding to the skill you used, and at the end of the skill, this is the big part, at 5 potency or 0 count, use Kozen. Okay? So what does all this mean? You are on a time limit. This skill 3, you are on a time limit. Either you fuel it yourself, or the game will automatically use it for you. Pretty much. You don't convert it or anything, it is just used. Now, let's talk about this by explaining what the fuck did I just, like, what the fuck am I on about? We're gonna skip the support passive and base passive for now and talk about the statuses because you need to understand this before we go back into it. So, Bright has a base potency of 0 and a count of 3. It doesn't count for charge. You gain offense level up based on potency. Okay, dude, 5 potency? That's not bad for free? 5 offense level up? 3 offense level up? To 4 offense level up for free? And on turn start, you lose a count. Okay, so the base stays the same, you lose count, you get 3 turns. Now, here is the first hand, the red card. So to make this easier for you, we'll just call it the red suit. Okay, we're gonna color code it. Red suit. Skill 1s gain base power. When this unit equips and uses a Wrath, base attack skill, or ego on its leftmost slot, you activate the forming a hand effect on the Koi Koi passive. The yellow suit is the exact same thing except skill 2 gains base power. You also activate a slot, the base attack skill or ego, activate forming a hand effect. The blue suit, which honestly looks more gloom, but we'll call it the blue suit, is skill 3 base power, and use gloom attack skills or ego. So, what the fuck does any of this mean? If we go back to reading the passive of forming a hand, turn start, you will start with a random color. You will start with red, yellow, or blue. When you use a corresponding skill of the same color, you activate the following effects. Okay? You gain bright potency. Okay? If you formed a hand, you gain bright potency. More bright potency. And if you succeed in succession of angling these skills together, you get more bright potency. You also tremor burst every time you successfully use the correct hand. Which means, and this is what I forgot to mention in the video, you can tremor burst on every single skill. Every single skill that Ishmael has can tremor burst. All you have to do is use the same color skill as the card that you have. You also, each time you do this, you have a chance to gain extra ego resources. Alright? And then if you have maximum bright, or you have 0 bright, or 0 bright count, you will activate the skill 3 here. Okay? And what happens is after you use the skill 3, it does a lot of damage, it tremor bursts as well, boom ba bee ba boom. They will then refresh the suits to a random skill, pretty much. On here, it's tremor per coin. Hold on, why does it say that? Oh, on hit with the said skill. Okay, yeah, no. Okay, so it's on... Oh, I see. How interesting. So it's on hit then. Oh, so that means... Okay. That means that's a lot of tremor bursts. That's a minimum of 2 tremor bursts, so 3 tremor bursts per skill. Tremor max pay is plus 72, by the way? Okay, cool. Thank you. Does that make her an insane tremor unit? Yes, she has a tremor burst, everything if you follow her gimmick. That is a lot of tremor bursts. Let me tremor burst every hit. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Okay? That's kind of crazy. Now, you see why? Well, free tremor burst for S32? No. So Kozan, okay? Kozan is not a suit move, sorry. This is not a suit move. Alright, so you don't get 5 tremor bursts for Kozan. Kozan is not part of the converter hand effect, right? So yeah, you do not get forming a hand on Kozan. Kozan is not affected. You only get 1 tremor burst on Kozan, right at the end here. Only at 5 potency, you get tremor burst on the last one. Oh no, here it is. On here with the final reuse coin. Yeah, on here with the final reuse coin, you get tremor burst. So you get a tremor burst at the end of the effect. But for all of these skills, 3 tremor bursts, 3 tremor bursts, 2 tremor bursts. Now, you see why she has so much tremor count? It's kind of because she tremor bursts on every skill. Okay? So there's that. Now, that's the passive. Let's have a look at her. Honestly, probably the funniest passive in this game. These are probably the 2 funniest passives in the game. Okay? On Tails hit, heal SP. Just to nail it in the coffin. You get some SP if you hit Tails. Woo SP. Then you also deal more damage against targets in the low morale or panic state. So, I mean, that's pretty good. More damage against low morale or panic units as a sinking unit, like, that's not bad. But it is really funny that she just heals SP. Pity SP, pretty much. Then you also have the support passive, where one ally with the least SP uses a basic attack skill to head hit. It heals SP. This is really funny. Because if you guys ever want your... do not use Ishmael as a support unit in your negative coin teams. Because if they roll tails, she's gonna make them roll and give SP. This is bad for negative. This is bad for negative, but amazing for literally anyone else. My mood goes up. This is actually, yeah, it's a great passive for like starting fights or early fights. Or, you know who else this passive is good for, guys? You know who else this passive is good for? Philip. Another Philip W. Also, Solemn Lament and Yisang. So, Solemn Lament and Yisang, and Philip. Codion, if you want to be positive sanity Codion, you can do that. If you want to be negative sanity Codion, you might have to, you know, walk around. The Green Gambler. When you know Kijin releases Hanafuda Ishmael for the Arknights, oh, we'll talk about that, don't worry, because that's a very big thing. This is 100% for the Arknights. Philip and the Tremor team. Well, if you want to have Ishmael, like, if you don't want to use Liu Ishmael, right, you could put this in. Solemn Lament Gregor. It says base attack skills, so that does not include egos. Ego is not in here. However, someone made a funny Dokes meme about when you want to use this ID was made for the Arknight's ego. If you need any excuse as to how this ego is made for Arknights, let me fucking tell you. First things first, the passive includes ego skills, which at first you think is an amazing quality of life. And to be fair with you, it is an amazing quality of life. The fact is, you are not limited to base skills. You can, chat, manipulate the game by using ego. That's awesome. This gives you more of an incentive to go a varied ego skill on Ishmael. Because guess what? Snag Harpoon and 400 Death is Gloom. So you can use you can use her Zane ego to activate skill 3s. She has 2 Wrath ego. One of them is a Teth. One of them is a he. She has both a Gloom and she has a Tremor, he. So you can activate everything. You could have this be Capote, you can have this be Snack Harpoon with 400 Death, and you can have this be Christmas. Right? Now, but what if you decided to equip Tidal Elegy? Or Tidal Effigy. So, you have a Sinking Tremor Ego, which is also Gloom, that activates Bright, which means if you activate Tidal Effigy, Tidal Elegy, is it Elegy or Effigy? Tidal Effigy, I think. If you activate Tidal Effigy on the blue skill, you will get all of your Bright plus the bonuses of the Tidal Ego. Elegy? It's Elegy. Okay, thank you. So, is this Argonauts propaganda? A little bit. Elegy. Thank you. A little bit of Argonauts propaganda, but you know what? It's a little treat. If you don't have the Arcanines, though, don't stress. If you don't have Arcanines, don't panic. I'll tell you why. Because she literally has 2 Gloom Zane Egos. She has 100-foot Death, and she has Snack Harpoon. So, you're still going to get the Battle Pass. If you have the Battle Pass one, also, by the way, guys, as a note, the Battle Pass Ego works with this ID. Remember, 100-foot Death Maggot is a sinking Rupture Ego that has sinking usage. So, use 100-foot Death Maggot as a new player, right? If you have the Battle Pass, what would I recommend you put in here? 100-foot Death Maggot, Capote, Christmas Nightmare. 100-foot Death Maggot here, Capote, Christmas Nightmare. Boom. You have now the ability to activate every single thing. She also has Bygone Days. Yeah, but so if you don't have but if you want one for every slot. What the Battle Pass? You should. It's very worth it. Inflicts Tremor. Yes, you could do Snack Harpoon too as well. Either or. I say 100-foot because 100-foot does a lot of damage. And gives you good bonuses. So, how do I feel about Ishmael? This is okay. Let me explain to you something. It is almost impossible to judge an ID from these kits on our own. It's impossible. Why? It's all numbers. We don't know the numbers of the skills. We don't know the numbers of the statuses. We don't know the numbers of the damage bonuses. We can know this. Kozan is a lot of numbers. We do know that she gets a lot of bonuses for doing her discard gimmick. So, hand in hand, it seems to be she might be pretty good. I don't know. Maybe she comes out and she feels awful. But to me, I think she looks fun. I like the play style that they want you to go here, you know. Now, there is one problem. Okay? There is one problem that I think some people have a valid reason, maybe, or not valid. You might note something. She doesn't really discard. She's not a Mola Otis or a Dishi unit discard. She uses discard for the benefit of her own unique gimmick. She doesn't use discard as her gimmick. Right? And I think that might potentially upset a few people. Maybe some people were expecting it to be more like Mola Otis, where you get bonuses for discarding, or the Dishi squad where you get insight and that gives you a thing. That's kind of the only thing I can see here that I could potentially be like, yeah, fair enough. If you expected a discard unit that benefits from discarding. She discards to use her own gimmick, which I think is cooler, to be honest with you. Alright? She is discarding because she genuinely doesn't want those cards. Alright? Yeah, in my thoughts, in my process, she is gambling. She has a whole unique gimmick, right? She has a completely unique gimmick. She is actually playing poker. But she is not a discard team leader, like some people might have expected. Okay? She also has 5 Sin Affinities. So, if you were hoping for a Hanafuda discard team leader, that's not what you're going to get. unfortunately. Besides that, I think her suit gimmick looks very cool. I think the fact that she plays poker is very funny. The fact that she has a billion tremor bursts. I like that Kuzan is a reward for you playing good. Right? Or you gambling good, I should say. So I like that Kozan is not something that you control, kind of. You can kind of control it. Right? You can kind of control Kozan. The only ways you can activate Kozan is by getting 5 bright at the end of a turn, or at the end of a skill, or reaching 0 count. So you get 3 turns, pretty much, before you activate the skill automatically. Alright? And she also gets a lot of offense up from her bright passive, which is pretty good. Why am I promoting gambling? Do you know who I am? I'm the goddamn Limbus gambling god. I hope I am, but maybe not. Anyway. I like this. I think she looks cool. We'll see how she goes in-game, but as you guys know me, it doesn't really matter if everyone thinks she's dog shit. Because the only thing that matters, guys, and this is some big advice, is if you have fun and if you enjoy it, because this is a single-player game. And no one can tell you what you can and can't use. If you want to use the fucking gambling ID, use the fucking gambling ID. Alright? As I always try and tell you guys. Am I gonna gamble for wealth? Alright? As I'm saying, that's truth, nuke. If you see a YouTube video guy saying Hana Ishmael is the worst ID in the game, who cares, bro? Because first of all, it most likely will not be true. Right? Most likely that will not be the answer. Second, it's a fucking single player game. Number 3, it's also a team game, guys, okay? A big reminder. This is a team game where 12 sinners are all together, and you use all of their kits together and all of their little powers together to try and make each other better. And also because she's hot. Now, speaking of team, what about Gregor? Let's have a look at Gregor, shall we? Yeah, we have a whole nother ID that we haven't even talked about, by the way. So, welcome to Alan and Gregor, aka Knight or Capitano, but we're just going to call him Alan Gregor. So, oh boy. Oh boy. Alright, Alan Gregor, instantaneously, we have a Monopoise. Okay, we have Monopoise. We have Sloth. We're going to start slowly. He is Tremor Bleed. N-Corp Ryoshu is punching up right now. Okay? Why? We'll see in a second. First things foremost, we have a 2-coin Sloth Pierce. On use, gain haste next turn. On use, gain coin power for every bleed and tremor on the target. Okay. Haste. Coin power, fair enough. What does the first coin do? Inflicts tremor and bleed potency and something called open wound. Now, to be honest with you, this skill is whatever in the grand scheme of things. Doesn't really have a lot of damage modifiers on it, but it does have something called open wound, which we will be getting to in a second. Think of this as just a filler skill 1. Right? At the end of the day. The more important skill 1, I would argue, is the skill 1-2. Mercy. Unclashable single coin sloth. This skill does not trigger defense coins and cannot gain ego resources. By the way, you can reuse this skill with Rusty Coin. Big note. Now this coin, however, is different. You gain coin power for every missing HP on the enemy / core. Deal more damage based on the missing core HP. And if the core HP is less than a certain percent, you deal even more damage. Now, you gain haste next turn on the skill, and you inflict bleed, tremor, and open wound. Now, let me just tell you this. This skill, you're going to look out for. This, not so much. This is the skill. Cannot activate Rusty Coin? No, this can activate Rusty Coin, guys. This activates with Rusty Coin. Look, it says it doesn't trigger defense skills, so it goes through it goes through evade, it goes through defenses, it goes through counters. And you can reuse with this skill. And that's going to be very important, right? There's actually a very important reason why you can do that, and we'll explain it in a second. Number 2, hello, we have Stellaro Doppio, which is a 3-coin lust. We have on use if the target has bleed tremor coin power. Simple. Clash win. Now here is the first big thing, guys. We have a clash win, tremor potency, and tremor burst. Ooh, okay. Now why is this important? I'll explain why the clash win tremor burst is important after we need to read the passives. But he does inflict, he does tremor burst on clash win. The first coin inflicts tremor and bleed count. Okay, probably like 1 or 2 bleed count. Probably 1 bleed count. I wouldn't be surprised. 1 tremor count. The second attack hits open wound, whatever this open wound is. Okay. And then the third one, a little special. If the enemy's core is less than X%, or if the target has something called fatal wound, you actually use mercy. So, the more realistic one that you'll probably have is the enemy HP is low. It's probably going to be like lower than 30% or lower than 25%, right? So, you actually can manually activate mercy, which is cool. And it's very important because of this status here, open wound. We'll talk about open wound in a second. But you can activate it. It's very good. This is a very good skill. Then we move on to skill 3. Now it's a little wordy, so let me lock you guys in a little bit. Execution 4 coin. Before use, if the target has something called deep wound, you activate the night all instead. We don't have deep wound. We don't know what deep wound is, so we're just gonna ignore that. On use, if the target has X bleed plus tremor, gain coin power, usual. This also has a clash win, tremor, and tremor burst. The first coin will inflict bleed potency, the second will inflict tremor and tremor count. The third will inflict open wound. And the fourth coin, you see, will trigger amplitude conversion into tremor hemorrhage. It will then trigger a tremor burst, and the big thing here, if the target is staggered or has fatal wound, or if the enemy HP is less than X, you will use mercy. So, if you stagger, if you have fatal wound, which was the same conditional skill too, or if they have less than X amount of HP, you get a free skill 1-2. Now, again, very important. Also, hemorrhage, very nice. If you don't know what hemorrhage is, it's pretty much scorch for bleed. Now, that means that bleed count is very important, and tremor is very important too. When will we have our tremor season? Yeah, this is the tremor season. So, simple skill. But it gets better. Because here we are at the night all. Now, we don't know what the conditional for this one is yet because we don't know what this deep wound is, but let's have a read. A 4-coin unbreakable. Deal more damage for every haste on self and bind on the target. Remember that you gain haste from using the skill 1-2. On use, inflict defense level down. Also, if the target has shield, deal more damage. Deal more damage as well on the enemy part if it's a focus encounter. If the core HP is less than a certain percent, also deal more damage. You inflict defense level down. What Tremor Scorch is? Tremor Scorch and Tremor Hemorrhage is pretty much a, how do I explain it? Think of it as like a Tremor Burst that deals damage, sin damage, to the corresponding affinity of Hemorrhage, which is Lust, and Burn, I think, is Sloth. No, but Sloth is Reverb, Wrath. So Scorch is Wrath, Tremor Burst, and Hemorrhage is Lust, Tremor Burst. It also triggers Bleed. It has a higher output, but it triggers more count. Now, on use, he inflicts defense level down. So he's going to deal more damage. On use, he gains coin power for every bleed and tremor on the target. On Clash Win, he also inflicts tremor and tremor burst, but note he doesn't reduce the count. Right? So he doesn't reduce the count for winning the clash. Now the first coin doesn't do anything. The second coin does bleed and bleed count, cool. The third coin does tremor and tremor count, awesome. The fourth coin, of course, is the same thing. It triggers tremor hemorrhage. It activates tremor hemorrhage. You tremor burst, and if the target has bind, you tremor burst again. So you get 2 tremor bursts, and you convert deep wound into fatal wound. So we figured out how to get fatal wound. We need deep wound. We don't know what the fuck deep wound is because all we know is that if you have this fatal wound, you can activate the conditionals on your skill 2 and normal skill 3. Okay, cool. So far, so good. Then we have the defense. Defense, very simple. Dire Straits. Flashable Guard. Building up for light. Nothing much. We're just doing some light discussion. We'll go back and discuss the other IDs as well. We're just talking about Gregor right now. So, combat start. Now, this is very important. For this turn, increase the number of times Mercy can be used when triggered by the effect Purge Enforcer of the Famine Rule to 2 per turn. Now, what the fuck does that mean? Well, that's a passive. We don't know what that means yet. You also gain haste next turn, gain coin power, and you inflict tremor on a clash win. Okay, simple. Okay. Why does he have a dodge? I don't know, but he doesn't want to dodge. He's going to lock in instead. So. Sounds all good and dandy, but Mr. Ever, Sir Bossman, what the hell? Okay, what in the hell does any of this mean? Well, great question, because we're going to go on to the passes now, and this will pretty much explain everything. What the fuck is suit in this contest? So suit is the 3 status buffs that she gets. The red suit, the yellow suit, and the blue suit. That's what the suit is. So, we have the first passive, alright, which is Painless Mercy. Unless reused via external effects, the Knight or Captain skill Mercy can be used up to 2 times per turn. So, you get 2 skill 1/2s per turn. Unless you reuse, which means you get 1 extra. Because you reuse anyway. So that doesn't matter. This part doesn't matter, because you just get 2 per turn. Not French? I don't know how to fucking... What? Mercedes? I speak English, okay? I butcher other languages on purpose. Stiletto you? Guys, I don't speak alternative languages, okay? I butcher everything. So you're just gonna have to live with it. It is what it is. Second, Purge Enforcer of the Famagul. This is the big one, by the way. When this unit kills an enemy or breaks apart, gain Pierce power up next turn. When using a base attack skill, if this unit's speed is faster than the target's, you inflict defense power down on the target's speed based on difference. So defense power down, not defense level down. What is defense power down? Defense power down is things like nerfing evades, nerfing counters, nerfing blocks, pretty much, right? Like, that's what it does. After an ally using a base attack skill, if the enemy core is at less than X amount of HP, you use Mercy. I'll just say Mercy. Alright, on the target. So, in the trailer, we saw Ishmael and Heathcliff stagger the enemy, right? That was not stagger. Well, it was stagger, but it was getting them at a lower HP. So, it gets a, free skill 1 on staggers, pretty much. Ahem. Then we have, if there is only 1 surviving enemy after an attack, the passive also activates when the target is staggered. So, TLDR, if there's 1 surviving unit and you stagger them, you also activate Mercy. Like if your opponent had a high defensive block, lowering defensive makes it weaker. Yes. Pretty much. So if the target had like a 5 block with a 5 block with 5 coin power, and you inflict 4 what's the word? 4 defense power down, it would be a +1. Or you can offset? Yeah, but why would you offset when you can just attack? This inflicts it based on speed difference. You will be, if you're fast, you're going to be inflicting like +4 defense power down. That will ruin a block. Right? This will ruin someone. This means you don't have to offense. Also, he kind of skips it. Yeah, this also helps on clashable counters. Secondary, we have a support passive. We have aim for the gap. Ally with the highest speed when using it. Oh, this is actually pretty good, by the way. Ally with the highest speed when using a base attack skill. If this unit's speed is faster than the main target, you inflict defense power down on the target based on speed difference. So that entire passive here, he just puts on a support passive. Now, this doesn't sound as useful as you may think. Okay, and trust me, you gotta lock in a little bit. You gotta use your mind. Okay, you gotta lock in a little bit. Defense power down is kind of like Paralyze. Paralyze, you want to be the fastest unit in the team to get the maximum value Paralyze. Because obviously Paralyze, you're going to paralyze and then you're going to want other people to clash. Right? So, what does this do? Well, this is the same thing, except it's defense power down. Now, defense power down is better, right? Defense power down is better the faster you are. So, having the highest speed unit, and if you're doing anything like 3 or 4 speed, this can really help you with like clashable counters. This is very good at, again, evades. Some characters have really high evades. Now the argument is like, well, why wouldn't I just offset it? Right? Well, maybe there are 2 situations you wouldn't offset. What if you have a character who's not fast enough? So you can't offset it. The second one is, what if you don't want to waste a strong skill? So you have like a good skill 3 on your slot and he's the only character that can, you know, say you have Gregor, he's got skill 3 ready up. You don't want to like waste the turn because you're not doing damage. So this kind of lets you alleviate the fact by enabling you to do damage. It is same turn, yes. So that's why I'm saying it's based on speed. You want to be faster, pretty much. And that's the big thing about this. You want to be speed. It's over this. Guys, who fucking cares about this? Fuck the language, guys. We don't give a rat's ass about the language. We care about the kit. You know what I'm saying? We're locking in about defense power down, guys. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're locking in about, dude. We'll argue language later, guys. Argue the language when he comes out. You know what I'm saying? For now, you gotta argue about the defense power down meta, okay? Let me lock in, guys, okay? Everyone's gonna tell you that, oh, this is useless. Defense power down is useless. I'm telling you, all you need for defense power down is speed. All right? Okay? That's all you need to know. I'm telling you, this is like a sleeper. Anyway, now let's go on to the actual passives. So remember those passives that we were talking about? Well, here's the actual use of those passives. So open wound, which is the thing that every single skill inflicts. Reminder, every skill inflicts open wound. Skill 1 inflicts open wound, skill 1-2 inflicts open wound, skill 2 inflicts open wound, and even skill 3 inflicts open wound. So this open wound is going to be used a lot. Now, open wound. Max stack 2. Turn end, you gain bind next turn. At X amount of stacks, you replace this effect with deep wound. Now, this does not reduce at turn end. Okay? So this does not reduce at turn end. So this is something that you could permanently stack on someone. Alright? It acts like a fragile. Yes, about 3 defense level down. So, then you gain this deep wound. Right? Now, what does this deep wound do? Well, here's the thing. This is very cool. When Tremor Burst is triggered, gain bleed count. You cannot gain open wound in focus encounters the part. And you also gain bind next turn. Wait, whoa, hey. Tremor Burst, it gives me bleed count? Excuse me? That's right, guys. When triggering Tremor Burst, gain bleed count. Now, It's the kit is power, not levels. So, instantaneously, we figured out how to maintain bleed count. You just gotta tremor burst them. Then you see Fatal Wound. Now, how do you get Fatal Wound? You get that from the skill 3, the Ascended skill 3. The Ascended skill 3, you gain Deep Wound. And the only way to gain that is if you have Deep Wound. So, you need Deep Wound to activate Fatal Wound. Now, what's Fatal Wound? It's the exact same thing. Except it's probably more bleed count, to be honest with you. So, Tremor Burst triggered bleed count. You can't gain Open Wound, but you also gain Bind. So you just gain flat bind equal to stack. There's 3 stacks, it reduces at stack, turn end. So turn end, it reduces stack probably by like lose 1 at turn end. So, what does all of this mean? Okay? What does all this mean? All of a sudden, right? Let me lock in. If we go back to his main kit, here's the thing. Every single skill that he has inflicts open wound. You only need 2 open wound. But more importantly, the Merce, or whatever the fuck you is, Merce. I'm gonna call it Merca, okay? The Merca is the most important skill in his kit. Because he inflicts open wound, he gains haste, okay? It deals more damage, it can reuse multiple times, and that lets you open Deep Wound. So now you get Deep Wound. And then you get Deep Wound, you get Fatal Wound. You get Fatal Wound, you get more blood count. Now, all of a sudden, Skill 2, Skill 3, and Ascended Skill 3 all have Tremor Bursts in their Clash win. Why is this? Simple. Now, when you're clashing and you win the clash, you recuperate some of that bleed count that you've lost. Because obviously you're trying to bleed count. You're trying to maintain the bleed agenda. Now you get a little bit of bleed in there. You get more count in there at least. And you definitely know for sure that this is going to be stronger. Now this most likely will be 1. Like, let's be real. This will probably be 1 bleed count per Tremor Burst, okay? This, I'm not gonna lie to you, might be like 2. You know? This might be 2, but this is definitely 1. But Fatal Wound you could only get from the Ascended Skill 3. So, now, what about all the haste? What about all of his bind? Well, he gains bind from using the wound, so you want to wound people, right? You get stack minus Y bind. There's probably like 2 bind. This gives you 3 bind. He gets he gets haste from his Merce. He gets Bane from Merce. Is Hanafuda absolutely replacing Molar on sinking? Hard question. Molar Ishmael is very good because she has a lot of sinking count and she has a lot of fragile. Right? So, very hard to think. I think it's definitely situational on what you want. But for bleed, I am not sure. You know? The S3 is very good. You can probably... Here's the thing you can probably guarantee. You probably can guarantee that this Ishmael will do more damage than Mola. Most likely. Right? Find bugs forgives you. So, yeah, as we were saying, so, the fact is, you want to use Merce or Merce as much as possible, right? So, you're doing all of that. You're doing all this. And then, you're gaining a gazillion haste. Not only are you gaining a gazillion haste, you're inflicting open wound to everybody, right? Everyone is getting open wounded. Alright, so everyone's getting open wounded, which means everyone's getting bind. That means everyone's getting triggered by bleed, which means that you have high speed diff. So because you have a high speed diff, you inflict defense power down. You also gain Pierce power up whenever you break something, right? Which you are a tremor unit, so you can break stuff. And you kind of see the repetition that you're going with here, and then, you know, you want to get to Deep Wound. So then when you use Skill 3, you can activate the Night Owl. The Night Owl activates Fatal Wound. It's simple as that. Now, also, the fact that he has hemorrhage, reminder, hemorrhage consumes not only tremor count, but bleed count too. So, you've got both this, you've got a little bit of that, you've got a little bit of this, you got a little bit of that. It's kind of like, you know, I'm not sure, again, the values after they come out is going to be hard. You might still need some support. But I mean, hey, who said you can't bring Mola Ishmael onto your, Mola Otis into your, what's the word? Into your, bleed team, guys, you know? Mola Otis, get a little bit of Tremor Burst in there, bing, bing, bing. 3 Tremor Burst, 3 bleed count, it's as simple as that. And, yeah, obviously he's the secondary banner, so he's a little bit easier. And that's it for his kit. He's got a very simple kit. He's definitely much more simple than, Ishmael. So, Ishmael one is a lot more complicated. Gregor's is a lot less complicated, but I think he definitely has some good potential here. She fouls because of her Everlasting. True! Everlasting upscale on the bleed team. There you go. So, She Faust gets upscaled. That's awesome. This match, I have not played this match. I would like to. Will it replace Priest on Bleed? I mean, Priest is a Bleed Rupture unit, but I mean, I don't know. You could probably find a use for it. Probably. The thing about Priest is, Priest is very good. Like, Priest is like top 2. But Priest has a few problems. Like, number 1, you know, he's very good at making, what's the word? Blood Feast. And on this team, you don't really need Blood Feast. So if you want a Blood Feast generator, I mean, absolutely. Priest is a tank. He is a full tank. He's also very slow. He's very, very slow. Also, guys, I completely forgot to mention, Unbrilliant Glory. How could I? How could I forget Unbrilliant Glory? So, unlike Ishmael, who has Tremor Sinking in her base kit, and her ego, which is Title Elegy, is Tremor Sinking. Mr. Gregor over here, well, he doesn't have Burn. He's got Bleed. However, that doesn't mean that Unbrilliant Glory isn't even going to be stronger. Which, let me tell you, Unbrilliant Glory plus this kit might be even kind of goated. But you want to know something? You want to know something so devious, so powerful? You want to know something that will completely change everyone's opinions? Forget Unbrilliant Glory. You can use Unbrilliant Glory all you want. If you have it, if you don't have it. But let me tell you that there's another WoW ego. One WoW ego that has been desperately waiting in the darkness, training, cardio, Olympic medal type tier, bench pressing, in the gym silently, waiting for its chance to be having the limelight once more. It hasn't called out for any pleas. It hasn't called to anyone to let it cry on its shoulder. He's been training and grinding in silence. Garden of Thorns is genuinely going to be even better on Alan Gregor than it already is. That's right. We have a speed demon. Alright, let me tell you something about Garden of Goats. Okay? Here's the thing. You need Lust. Oh, okay, we got a Lust Bleed ID here. Number 2, you need Speed. Oh, well, he's got Speed right here too. That's weird. I've just fulfilled all the conditionals for Garden of Goats. That's it. When are these releasing? This week. So, all of a sudden, I'm the fastest unit of my team. We could easily get a Lust Resonance, because this is Bleed, for crying out loud. Getting Lust and Bleed is like finding candy at Halloween. Right? Now, all of a sudden... The speed is always good on healing eco. Forget the healing, that's a bonus. We're not doing it for the healing. The healing is a little treat. The healing is a little treat. What we care about is that +2 Sin Affinity power up and that +2 Sin Affinity damage up. Now, where would be a use case to actually use this? Number one. Here's the thing, guys. Remember, why would I use Garden of Goat? Right? When I could just use his base skills. Valid question. The skill 1 is not really anything. Okay? We don't really care about the skill 1. It's here. What we care about is the Mercy. Or the Mercy. Okay? This is the skill we care about. And this skill doesn't have to rely on us. Or does it? Remember, this can be triggered by allies. Not only can this be triggered by allies, it can also be triggered by the passive. You could activate Garden of Goat and still get at least 1 or 2 Mercies at the end of a turn. Okay? All of a sudden, you are still fulfilling your purpose. Open Wound, Bleed, you're gaining haste. You can replace a skill 1 with Garden, you know, stack up some Open Wound with the Mercy, use a bit of a skill 3, get Fatal Wound, now you start clashing. You know? You start activating, you start going online. Right? Now, you can't activate the Mercy yourself if you use the Ego, because this needs a base attack skill. Right? However, if there's one enemy, it activates when staggering. So you could use a little bit there. But your team can easily bring them low enough to activate the passive. Remember, this activates off your team. After an ally brings it less HP, you automatically activate Mercy. Have a full Walpurgis on team? Yes, it will. You can. I mean, you can have one right now, I believe. Now, Garden of Thorns, you know, all I'm going to say is the haters will still say it's useless. The haters will say it's the worst WoW. But the haters don't understand true potential. Okay? They can't comprehend something that doesn't deal 30,000 damage, okay? There's more to it than just that. You have to think, you gotta lock in a little bit, alright? You gotta transcend the man's mind, escape your outer body, Nirvana, come back, and you realize all along it's the strongest WoW. And then, you know, if you want to use Unbrilliant Glory, you can also just use Unbrilliant Glory too. That's perfectly fine. But if you want to be a true Garden of Goat believer, this is going to be the ID for you. Except, you know, ignore that it inflicts Rupture. But don't worry about that. Forever. Glory to the Gregor WoW ego. Exactly. What are my initial thoughts on where these belong? Well, this will definitely be on a Bleed team. Gregor, I think you can put them on both Bleed. How are the kids, in my opinions? I mean, they look good. I have no problems with these. I do think Ishmael is probably going to be the hardest one to assume because you have to, you can also Christmas Nightmare. Yeah, you can. Ishmael's going to be the hardest one to assume because obviously her kit is very like RNG reliant. Gregor just seems just generally strong. I have no issues with him. Ishmael, you're probably going to want to be on a sinking team. And Gregor, you're going to be on a probably probably a Bleed team. I mean, you could probably do you could probably solo Bleed, to be honest with you, but probably a Bleed team. But the fact is, you can put them on both. You can put on Tremor, put him on Tremor, put her on Sinking, put him on Sinking. Hell, you could put them together if you want. You could have a cacophony of Tremor units, guys. Guys, you could have a Tremor Sinking unit, a Tremor Burn unit, a Tremor Bleed unit, a Tremor Charge unit. Fuck, why don't we just get, I don't know, what's next? Tremor unit? You can have so many tremor units. I'm losing my mind how many tremor units there are. Will it be glory? I mean, so the thing about Unbrilliant Glory is Unbrilliant Glory wants to make you main tank. The best part about Unbrilliant Glory in this is the fact that Unbrilliant Glory gives you like a bunch of resistances when you get hit. But Priest probably enjoys it more. You can use Malfaust, Tremor Everlasting, Tremor Poison soon. Tremor Depression. No Tremor Depression yet, but eventually. And, yeah. That's it. Like, wowie. What a cool kit. Now, what does this mean for Limbus future? Now, I've seen some of you guys talk about this. Does Ishmael's kit not kind of remind you of a certain syndicate that we have? Not syndicate, a certain... Well, it is a syndicate. A certain finger we haven't really encountered yet. I'm just saying, it seems awfully convenient that Ishmael's kit is based around using singular skills with repetition of maintaining the single skill agenda right before the next Kanto comes out. I'm starting to think that we might be getting a little bit of index tease, guys. This could be a temporary test bed for singleton mechanics. This could be a potential. It's kind of similar. Does this replace Gregor and does it replace Ishmael? To be honest with you, got no fucking clue until the actual, until it actually comes out. From my opinion, or from a first like a visual standpoint, I mean, it seems to be that if you want like more damage out of your Ishmael and a sinking unit, I mean, like she seems perfectly fine to be in there. And if Gregor, if you want to slot him in instead of, I don't know, N-Corp Yisang or something, you could slot him in there. How will Singleton work in Limbus? Well, by using this suit mechanic. I mean, obviously it's got something to do with it. It's quite, it kind of functions like a singleton deck. You know, it makes you want to use specific cards. It doesn't make you duplicate. It gets rid of all your duplicates. You know? Well, it does the opposite of your duplicates, but... Sign me the fuck up, it's cool. It looks cool. Now, as I've said, guys, and I always say this, it is impossible to judge from a kit alone. Obviously, we got to get it in game. Once you get it in game, you're going up against numbers. Then you're going up against conditionals. You're doing all of that. You know, and then there's like feeling and all that stuff. There's team building. You got to remember, team building is the most important thing in this game. It is a team game. There might be hundreds of thousands of opinions of what people think. Guess what? Opinions are irrelevant. That's the best part. You can just play whatever you want. If this looks cool to you, play it. It looks cool to me, I'm gonna fucking play it. You know? Same with Gregor. I mean, he looks fucking cool. I'm gonna play him. Try it out. Do a little experimenting. You know? Remember, Walpurgises will come and go. If you don't want to spend it on this, no problem. You know what you can do, guys? You can come and spend on the secondary banner. There is 2 banners. We have the main banner, obviously, which is the 2 IDs here, and then you also have the second and third banner. So hey, if you want to gamble on a little bit on some Magic Bullet Otis and Fixus and Clan, Lantern Dawn, you can come gamble on this if you want. You know, it is what it is. This kind of fuckery. Tremor, yes. I heard the next kind will be burned. The next kind will, assumingly, guys, remember, we don't really know for 100%, but it's a pretty safe assumption to assume that it'll most likely will be burned. You know? So if you want to focus on the burn team right before the Kano, go ahead. You can, you could use your Walpurgis for that. Also the Egg could file event. Oh, excuse me, guys. I yawned a little bit. don't forget about the Enconfilant event. Every season is Tremor. I'm honestly starting to believe that. So for those of you who don't know, the Enconfilant event is an event where spending Enconfilant during the event, okay, will earn you various rewards. Now, it says spending Enconfilant / spending modules, right? So if you spend modules, you earn rewards. You could earn thread, XP, cosmetics, pulls. You get 20 pulls like per usual. You need to spend 150, the equivalent of 150 modules in 2 weeks. All right, 150 modules in 2 weeks, which means, you know, you have to get on, do a couple of dailies, do a dungeon or two, you know. If you pretty much hop on at least once a day and do everything a little bit more, you'll have everything. Converting does not count. However, spending modules counts as the equivalent of 20. So there you go. Pretty much. It looks lackluster. That's because it is. This is literally on purpose. There is no story. There's no event boss fight. This is kind of like, I believe this was the same thing as someone said this was something like a similar to an April Fool's, I think, a previous one. But yeah, so using modules count. You pretty much become NetSack. So consuming Enconfilant counts, consuming modules count. You know? It pretty much, it is a filler event to let you have rewards, guys. This is pretty much it. The April Fool's spending event, yeah. So but we knew this was going to happen, right? Because we knew that there wasn't going to be an event. So this is here strictly so that you can get money, you know, your cash rewards. Math for a total of modules. My math is mathing. This is 150 modules. You need to spend 150 modules. Okay. So 150 modules total in 2 weeks. I mapped it out to be about 88 modules a week if you do everything. Yeah, 88 a week. Are you going to achieve that? Trust me, it sounds a lot worse on paper than it is in person. It sounds a lot. Hearing the amount of modules out loud is intimidating. But I promise you, when you actually start using your modules, you'll be like, damn. I just spent fucking 30 modules in one day. Very, very simple. The best way to do this is, first of all, you do dailies. You get your XP thread, your XP and thread. XP and thread totals 12. Assuming you don't skip. You can skip if you want. So 12 a day. Okay, 12 a day for 7 days. All right. I did the math on this already, but yeah. So it's like, I think I said 65 or something. Or was it 63? I think I said 63. Nah, 1 hour. 9 dailies, 18 for the weekly MD. Yeah, 18 for the weekly MD, right? It's gonna go by. It's gonna go by very quick. You could also use the skip function, which is like skipping threads, skipping XP luxvations if you want. Now, the easiest thing I recommend is most likely going to be just doing your XP grinds, because, I mean, you'll get more tickets, which is nice, so you're going to get more tickets for doing it. No, there is pools. There's pools in this. I'll explain. Look, it says it right here. It says, ahem. The reward include thread, XP, extraction tickets, and cosmetics. So you get 20 tickets as per usual. So you get 20 pulls, most likely, because that's usually the amount. And there you go. Around when I do this, there's 26 a day. So yeah, you'll smash it in literally a week and a week, pretty much. But I don't have enough modules. I highly recommend you consume a little bit of lunacy for this one, guys. You're gonna make the money back, so it's fine. I couldn't resist. Is this another C and bias push? Well, yeah, yeah, kind of. To be honest with you, Priest Gregor is very good. But he's also a gimmick bleed, you know. He is a gimmick bleed because he wants, you know, he obviously wants... Also, speaking of modules, I probably should convert my modules. Sorry about that. He wants Blood Feast, right? So he wants Blood Feast, he wants to trigger the bleed, he wants to... You know, he does a lot of, he has big reuses, he does generate his, has a bit of bleed count, he's got everything. He's also a tank, he wants to take hits. So no warp stage there. There's no warp stage. Unfortunately, there's no event story or anything. That this is a general reception. You can think of it as a filler Walpurgis, guys. And don't think of filler as a negative content. Like, literally, it is that is literally what this is. It is a filler Walpurgis, so that we don't get it delayed. If you are not aware as to why, the reason is because it was either we get this or we delay. And I don't know about you, but we waited 7 months for Walpurgis once. We are not waiting 7 months for another Walpurgis again. Fuck that. I'd rather just get the filler Walpurgis out, and then we'll get a normal Walpurgis after. It is much better than waiting until after Kanto 9, and then we only get one Walpurgis a year. Now, of course, this is a filler one, but after this, everything will go back to normal, as per usual, by the way. As a big note, once Kanto 9 comes out, guys, everything is back to normal, whatever the assumed schedule is. Alright? So, that is the big thing. And, yeah. What is going on here? Bring my poof? Mystery breaking. Sure, you seem unconfident, but let me inform you that everything that in this season has been so guys, let me explain to you something. I know you guys might seem a bit doubtful, and I think it's fair to be a bit doubtful. But let me tell you something. Everything in this season from season 6 never got delayed. We didn't have a single delay in anything. The only thing that was delayed was the previous season's Walpurgis. And now you can say it's because of Arknights, but actually, Arknights made it worse. Arknights made it that we had to push back content, and they still managed to keep it in time. So, the thing is, Season 6 had 0 delays in any content, and it's also we had the most amount of employees now. So, it's starting to look like... You know, it's starting to look like we might get a bit more locked in on no more delays, which would be nice, obviously. You know, we don't like delays here. Do you know how long the season has left? Yes, I can tell you exactly how long everything is left. We have approximately 1 month and 20 days. Season 6 is on track. Yes, Season 6, guys, is on track. There is only one thing left. By the way, guys, if you want more rewards... If you want more rewards after Walpurgis, there will be one final event. There will be the Railway 1 Bokgak, which will be turning into a permanent game mode. Remember, we are getting a permanent game mode right before Kanto 9 with Railway 1 Bokgak, which will have its own rewards, assumingly, and all of that. So we're going to have Railway 1 permanently be in the game. And that gives you some more rewards for Kanto 9. Which is going to be great, guys. 30 pulls, yep. It's going to be nice. And yeah, that's really it. Some more better Walpurgis in the future. Yeah. Well, after this, we'll be back to normal. So the next Walpurgis will be after Kanto 9. I think it'll be in the beginning of a Hold on, I'm trying to think. So after this, it'll be, what, December? So we'll have November, or it'll be December, January, February. It should be, like, somewhere around March. Pretty much. Beat the railway. Yeah. So, the reward will be cut off a bit? What do you mean, the reward? All the rewards will be there, as per usual, assumingly. No, so unfortunately, Railway 6 is not coming because we had Arknights, but it'll be next season. Like, we're not gonna skip, like, I don't think we're gonna just be skipping Railway 6, right? Like, that doesn't make sense. We're not gonna go Railway 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 7. Right? That doesn't make sense. So we're probably gonna get Railway 6 in the next season. Now I've said something about it. I've said the way they could do this is they could have 2 railways in one season. And that would fix the issue. Here's my locked-in theory, okay? If we had, because Bokak is, the Bokaks are running out, right? Like, we're almost caught up on Bokaks. Here's the thing. We could swap out the last Bokak, like, of the season next season, and just put in Railway. Alright? There's a small chance 9's getting delayed. There's no way Canon 9's getting delayed. I think the delay cope is over, guys. If they could fit Warp Bokak in, they managed to fit Warp Bokak and Walpurgis in now, there's no more delay. Like, it's pretty impossible for this delay, unless something major fucking happens. But there's no way Railway 1 Bokak is going to cause them such a delay. If anything, Warp Bokak would have been the last time that a delay could have been possible. Right? But also, the director spoke... Remember, guys, remember when the director did his pool live stream? No, the director did Extreme. Remember when he was doing his Extreme live stream? He said that they're on track. What if they merge it into one? They could merge it into one. Here's what they could do. Either A, they release RR6 at the beginning of the next season, and then RR7 at the end of the season. Or they release RR6 and combine it with 7. Right? That's another possibility. Or we are just one RR always behind. So that could also be a possibility too. We don't know. Personally, I think in my head, what makes the most sense is them releasing 2 Bokaks next season, and then 2 Railways next season, and then replacing a Bokak with it. So we are getting it in December? Yeah. There's like a 95% chance we get it in December. But you know me in hitting heads rolls, so like there's always that possibility. But everything's on track. So yeah, we could we're almost on track. What am I thought about the IDs? Joined kinda late. I really like Ishmael's gimmick. I think it's cool. I'm interested to see how she'll be. She looks fun, right? And I think that's the most important thing. We'll see how good, especially her Kozan skill. So we'll see how, friendly the discard gimmick is. But the fact that you can use egos during the suit gimmick is really good. And Gregory, Gregory just looks like a very nice, staple, strong character. He's got a lot of bleed. He's got a cool gimmick with open wound. He's like a tremor. He's got like a gameplay to him. You work around him. Also, Garden of Thorns upscale. All nice. We get a new railway every other season. A Bokak railway, and there is a new one. Yeah, they could do Bokak railways. The thing is, I'm not sure how many Bokak railways they do. Here's the thing. They might do a Bokak railway for every railway and make them all permanent content. That might be the strat. Would I recommend the newish for singing team over Mola? Ooh, that might be hard. Mola is super good. Mola is definitely just insanely strong. We sacrifice Ezgu. Bro, he doesn't even play the game anymore. Guys, Ezgu doesn't even play Limbus anymore, man. I don't think sacrificing Ezgu is going to do anything, guys. I think RR2 would be easy with today's units. Ooh, good question. I think so. I think RR2 will be a lot more fun with today's units. Especially when you have so many, what's the word? When you have so many variations of teams now. Sack Volvator. Yeah. When did he quit? He didn't actually quit. Don't take my word. He didn't quit. He didn't quit. But he hasn't. I'm pretty sure he's on a very long vacation, guys. I don't know. He did not actually quit, guys. I'm making a joke, right? I'm making a bit. He just played Arknights a few months ago, right? But I'm just saying, like, he pretty much he is on a long vacation. Yeah, a long, like, 9-month vacation, guys. He went to get milk. All right, guys? He's not coming back. He went to get milk. As if he's 4 feet underground. Well, we went to get milk, so there you go. The source is I made it up. Well, I just said it as a bit. I don't think people, you know. I don't even talk to. I have no idea. Bokak every season. Yeah, so the Bokak is very good because it's permanent. Not only that, but also the fact that you most likely. I was gonna say, how many do I think they'll Bokak everything? If they don't Bokak everything, I think RR1 and 2 would probably be the most logical Bokaks. I don't think they would up Bokak 3. But if they do Bokak everything, we're fucked. Are you telling me I'm gonna have to fight, like, I'm gonna have to fight Arda Blossom Moth with unbreakable coins now? Like, or some fucked up new coin that they come up with? Drunk Walp discussion? For legal reasons, that was a joke. It's most likely a burn season. Do you think we can get new bosses in R1? Nah, no new bosses. The new bosses will be for maybe new gimmicks, like they might update KQE. Rich Acid and Biner in one go. Hell yeah, good stuff. A Heb Tree with unbreakable coins and high rolls. Yeah, fuck that. And then you gotta fight Spiral of Contempt with unbreakable coins? Oh god, no. Gossipium with unbreakable coins? I will murder that flower. They do more instead of less? Yeah, that's probably what it'll fucking do. It's fair, I'd say. I just don't think he's very interested in doing it. Like, I just don't think he really has anything interesting he wants to do. You got Esgu's not like me, guys, okay? I have a schedule, right? Like, I keep a consistent schedule. But Esgu doesn't, he'll just do whatever the fuck he wants, right? Like, he's got that power where he's like, I feel like doing this today. He'll just do that, right? For me, you could expect weekly that we'll always have stuff, right? And then, but nah, he'll just, like, if he doesn't feel like it, he just won't do it. That's his style, right? Like, it's whatever. G-Corp manager with unbreakable coins? Raise attack after breaking a coin? Yeah, like a reverse effect, that would be sick. Gossipium with unbreakable coins? Clam! The Ambling Pearl with unbreakable coins? Dude, that's gonna be a nightmare. Fuck line 3, bro. I ain't want to fight line 3 again. Yeah, it's Walpurgis, Railway 1, and then Kanto 9. Oh, dude, they're going to give My Form Empties unbreakable coins. Guys, I've already predicted how this is going to work. They're going to give MFE unbreakable coins that inflict karma on you, so you have to clash with the little dudes, the possessed idols, so you can actually transfer karma. That's what they're going to do. It's as shrimple as that. And I think that's most likely what will happen. King and Bine's unbreakable. Everything gets unbreakable. Dude, what if they did like a new coin? Do you think they'll even do a new coin? I don't think they're going to do a new coin for a while now, to be honest with you. I think they're mastering unbreakable coins. And implementing unbreakables. Because the fact is, unbreakables coins are still new. I mean, we got them in Kano 7. But even when you still see an unbreakable, you're like, ooh, an unbreakable. Also, note, Ishmael has no unbreakable coins. I'm genuinely surprised that she doesn't have any unbreakables. I thought they would have made maybe like her counter unbreakable or like her skill 3 unbreakable. No, she has no unbreakable. I think Gregor has unbreakable, and that's only on his skill 3. They've been, you know, they've been saving the unbreakables for the ascended skills recently. Like they're making them like only the ascendables, unclashable. Blue coin, guys. I've had a great idea for coins. Okay, I've had a genius. I've had some cool. In fact, you know what? Let me get the paint up, guys. We're gonna do a little bit of. Let me get the green marker. Because I've had some genius ideas for some coins, okay? Alright, so I've had a few ideas for some coins, okay? First things first, we got the green coin. How do you do that? We got the green coin. Just think this is Dante. We got the green coin. What does the green coin do? The green coin heals you. HP. Genius. Okay? So that's the heal coin. Alright? Then, this one is definitely my favorite. Okay? We have... This is the glass coin. Okay? This is the green... So I'll just put, like, green. In case you don't know what this is. Okay? This is the glass coin. This one is my favorite one. Glass. Now, what does the glass coin do? This is a fragile coin. Now, the glass coin works in clashes. Okay? So, clashes it works. Oh, you can't really read that. Hold on, let me... Here. Clashing it works. But damage... It doesn't work. Right? Not only that, if you lose... you break the coin. So you could have, like, as an example... Say you have like 1, 2. So there's like 2 coins, and then you have a third as the glass coin. This will tally up in your clash. So this is your total clash, right? So this would be like this is like your clash, right? But if you lose this, like if this break, like you break this coin, you lose it. Right? So like, ding, you broke it. Now, like you're in a clash and this roll, like you lost that coin. So if that coin loses it, it shatters, and then you're stuck with these 2. So it's kind of like a unique little coin where it's like, you know, it's strictly there to help you clash, not necessarily give you damage. And you can permanently lose it. Normal coins already do that? No, as in, like, you could make these, like, unbreakable. Masterclass drawing. Like, if these were unbreakable, right, you would keep it. But if this was a normal coin, you'd be like, what? You don't keep it. Glass coin. Clash power, but worse. I mean, it's a different version of clash power. Then, what other coins you got? You got the SP coin. I think that's another fair one. Put that up here. There's no way to recover it. Maybe like a skill. Here you got the SP coin. I think that's fair. Gives you SP. That's pretty easy. Then... here we go, right? This is a controversial one. You guys might not agree. The pink coin. Now, what does the pink coin do? Great question. Then, I'm thinking we can do the brown coin. This one is a bit controversial. I think the brown coin... might be a bit controversial. We might get in trouble for the brown coin. Like Kim Ji-hoon might have to go to court for the brown coin. But I do think if he adds the brown coin, I think it could be beneficial to the growth of Limbus company. But he might have to go to court for it. So he might have to go to court. The yellow coin, no one likes the yellow coin. I think the yellow coin is probably the most mid coin. I just don't think it looks good. Like, the orange coin is simply better. So what does the yellow coin do? Well, the yellow coin, I mean, it's got a good effect. It gives you cost. But the problem is cost is only an MD thing. Right? So actually what happens is you think it gives you cuts, but it actually rug pulls you. So the yellow coin rug pulls you, which could be really bad if you have a lot of investments, like investing in assets. So that might be a bit controversial. They might have to go to the Korean Gambling Association and figure out the logistics of that one. And then you have the purple coin, or the purple tier, as they say. This one manifests you as a 60-year-old woman. That one, I mean, controversial, but I think a few people might be into this one, so you don't know. You'd have to ask Kim Ji-hoon. And then you're like, oh my, and then as you're chilling, you're like, holy shit, is that the wait, hold on. Holy shit, is that the red coin? This is fucking kills you, by the way. Shing! It just you just get fucking horizontal die. There you go. That's the red coin. Holy shit, is that the red coin? Ching! What's the fucking hold on, and then it gets like a black stripe, like whoosh. There you go. 2 red coins? Now that's called an unbreakable coin. Okay, that's different. This is the red coin. This is stupid. What is this even about? I don't know, we're done talking about all the Walpurgis stuff. To be honest with you, there's nothing more for me to talk about. I guess we'll go back to Limbus. The new director. Yeah, guys, I guess we're done talking about all the IDs, and we're done talking about the Walpurgis event. So, we're gonna go back to Limbus now. Just letting you know, if you're no longer interested in the stream, you can leave if you want. Yeah, we're gonna go back to Limbus, and I don't know what we're gonna do in Limbus. I think it's a bit late to do a run. Maybe we'll do something for fun. I don't know, we'll have a look. But, I am going to close out on this. Oop. They got the EX? Yeah, I guess I can show you guys all my stuff. Yeah, let's show you guys real quick. It's now mid. Yeah, we've after all the Walpurgis hype, it's gone now. Yeah, let me show you guys my collection. Yeah, you guys, you want to see my collection? Oh, it's nothing big, you know. It's just boom. In my opinion, take care. I'll see you later. Good luck. Hell no. Yeah, we have to actually play the game. As you can see, guys, 367 out of 367. We got all the IDs. We got all the fancy EXs. You know, I'm just saying, you know, as Limbus man, the expert here, you know, we locked in a little bit. Double EXs too. You know. Yeah, I won't spoil it for you guys, you know what I'm saying? We got all the achievements. That's great. We got the completionist achievement. And we still have to do a run. I guess we'll do a run real quick. Showed off the Pokédex. Yeah, we knew a little bit of the Pokédex. We already did a discard team. I don't know. Blunt, Tremor, Rupture. We've been doing Rupture Cup. We did so much Rupture. The burn. I mean, we did burn. Burn was fine. You can do burn. You can do something like that. Well, let's see. I'm not sure if I have enough time for a team, or maybe we'll just have a little, like, a discussion. Unfortunately, I'm gonna get no... Oh, wait, guys. I know what we can do. Let us prepare. Here's my, we're gonna have a little... Here's the thing. Here's all my resources. So, we got about 37,300 lunacy, which is like, how much is that? It's 37364 divided by 1,300. That's about 280 pulls. Yeah, that's okay. A good amount of pulls. We got 110 pulls here. 20 pulls here. So that's about, and we'll also spend Ink and File on the event too, which is good. All this thread is going to be gone, unfortunately, because obviously this will all be going to the IDs. A lot of tickets. Give me those. I would give you guys all my like silver tickets if you want. You guys want my silver tickets? I'll let you have the browns too. I'm thinking about when Kano 9 drops. I think we're not gonna level my IDs when Kano 9 drops. I know what I'm about to say is a bit backwards, but I think we're not going to level my IDs when Kano 9 drops. I think we're going to hold off on leveling the Kano. We're going to try and beat the Kano underleveled. At least by an X amount. We got 30 boxes. Free. Nice. We've got some juicy shards. All these are shards. Hopefully we get some standard. If not, all of these turn into thread, which is fine. The Kamui gift. We do have a bunch of shards. Which, remember, all of my thread from now on is kind of want to go to egos. Remember, we did go to 200. And then they want to avoid nerfs, true. The fingers. Actually, no, that is... What does a syndicate... Can we even do a 5-finger team yet? I'm actually curious. I'm actually... I don't know. So you have the ring. You don't have a finger, do you? No. Then Kohode. You have the middle. Ryoshu, she doesn't have any. Masault's got the thumb. Honk Snoo. Honk no. Heathcliff's got full stomp, no. W Corp, no. Syndicate. Fingers. I meant to say finger, not syndicate. We have index? No, I think index might be next. I think at least. Fingers. No. We know that he has two. He's got thumb and middle. Roger. Yeah, I guess technicality Pequod is middle, even though he doesn't have the middle tag. Oh, that's true. No, you're right. Mount Faust is Tinky, so is Lord Lu. They're part of the Pinky. If you really want to, stretch the definition of syndicate if you really want to stretch the definition of 5 fingers, Roja is not a part of any of the fingers. Then Claire's got both. She has ring, and Sir Gregory unfortunately doesn't have any. Damn. Look at this team. I mean, we got over half the IDs as asterisks over half the IDs. Holy bleed team. It turns out the fingers like to bleed the shit out of you. Yeah, it turns out that's a common occurrence. Who do you think here would be Index? I think we could get Index Faust. I think Index Faust could be a thing. I think Index Roja could be a thing too. He is associated. I wasn't trying to do association. I was trying to just be like in the actual syndicate or in the fingers. I think Index Faust, Index Roja could be good. That's like a double index right there, I think. Index Claire, but he's already got two. He already has two index. He already have two fingers. Mersault, yeah. I want like Ryoshu might be like ring or something. She might be like ring maestro. Roja can get a middle too. Middle, I do think Heathcliff would get middle. I mean, dude, we have like the most middles, right? Yeah, we have the most middle. Isong, tough, yeah. Anything to replace Ring Sang. Absolutely crazy. I still think Thumb Gregor would be goated as fuck. Thumb Gregor would go crazy, dude. He doesn't want to be a goon? Exactly, right? It would kind of, it's kind of like the same with Sea Branch. It's kind of like the Sea Branch, right? Where she's like, she's not, you know, she's not special. A bad end? Yeah, I think so. This place is nuts. Gets outclassed by a new Believe You sang? What do you mean? He's right here. Thumb Roger? Ooh. I mean, anything to help expose Roger's, you know, physique, I'm all here for that. Thumb Rodion and Gabrielle. What about Ishii? What would Ishii have? Would she be middle? She'd be Thumb, maybe. Thumb Ishmael? I don't know. I'm thinking Thumb Ishmael, maybe. I can kind of see it. Middle Heathcliff, Thumb Ishmael. Index, Yisang. Probably Ring, Ryoshu. And then maybe Thumb Gregor. Thumb Ish would be killed in a week? No, because Thumb Ishmael would kind of just be like Maid Ishmael. Look at this cutie. Look at this cutie pie. Look at her eyes and tell me that she has any thought behind those eyes. Look at it. No thought, head empty. He's staring at this fucking little duster. Look at this, head empty. This is the perfect thumb fucking goon right here. Otis suits Plum more? I would have thought so. But I guess that's why she's a 2-star. You know? She's a bit freaky. I mean, Otis is a bit freaky, to be fair. The question is, like, we're probably gonna get as many in, like, of these fingers as, like, middle. Did I say goon? Yes. He's already kind of Thumb. He's she. True. Yeah, like, again, if you include associates, then it's way easier, obviously, because, I mean, look at that. God damn. I think Index could be a potential Kanto 9 inclusion. You know, will we ever see a 2-star? I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. We have gone this whole last season without a single fucking 2-star. That shit, the era of the 2-star might be over. Unless Kim Ji-hoon drops a fucking random 2-star on like a dual banner at the end of the season. I highly doubt it. I think the era of the 2-star is over. It's gone. No more 2-star anymore. They're out of 2-star. We're all out of 2-stars. But remember, we did a test. Remember, the 2-stars we have are good. It's not like we have 2-stars and it's like they're all useless. I think we calculated it that it's like 65% of the 2-stars we have are useful. Do you know when Walpurgis? Walpurgis will be this week. So like a good 65% of the 2-stars, unironic, especially the later ones, are like highly usable. So, I mean, we got these for a while, I guess. Yeah, it's this week. It's in a few days. That's when the Walpurgis will be. Also, I should have a look at my egos. Guys, let's look at my ego situation. You know what I'm saying? I have my egos. I'm telling you two. What was on Thursday? No, yeah, what was this week? So how's the ego situation looking? Shit. So that's what? Rows of 5, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 34. How much is it for 34 times 70? Okay. Guys, what's 34 times 70? 2,300 thread. To get every two thread up to 3. Yeah, we're gonna be here a while. 2,000, and then that's not even including the tier 3 ones, because then we have to tier 3 everything, and tier 3ing it is like how much? Oh Jesus, 80. Oh, 120. Oh, 110. Okay, well, how many of these do we have? We have let's count, including base IDs. That's what? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 51. I think that's 51 times 110. That's 5,610 thread, totaling up towards about 7,800 thread to uptie 3 everything. Not even uptie 4. And then tier 5 will come out. I should uptie 2 some stuff. I should. Okay, hold on. How many more days do we have until So we have 460 thread. We get 45. That's 1 day. Today is Tuesday. Today's Monday. So we have Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Okay, so that's 4, 5, 10, 150. Okay, you know what, guys? We can uptie a few egos. We'll have enough if we uptie a few egos. What do you guys want to see uptied? It has to be a thread spin 2. Let me show you everything. Okay, let me show you guys what do you guys think we should uptie, and don't troll. Everlasting. Well, I'm doing uptie 2, not uptie 3. I'm going up to uptie 3. Soda. We're not doing soda. I already did soda. I got soda at 3. Sinclair. Soda. The ones that I personally would like Ebony Stem, Soda Ryoshu, Lifetime Stew. What is Lifetime Stew even? What does this even do for me? If target is, if the 7 burn of target is ally, give haste and ego ramp. Doesn't even increase my attack weight. Red eyes, blind, red eyes. A lot of stuff here, man. How much? What does Bygone Ishmael do? Gloom, more hailing and fragility. Brett, do John Soup. Guys, I am not John Soup. What if I uptied Don Quixote instead? 3 burn count? I mean, dude, that's not bad, right, guys? Like 4 burn count on a wait. Wait. This is a positive corrosion ID. I didn't even realize. Like ego. I didn't even realize this. How much damage could Lifetime Stew inflict? Guys, what's the cap on ego resources? Is it 999 ego resources? I guess you should up the percentage so it can't go above 25%. Interesting. Then there's uptime 5. I mean, at least it'll keep me occupied. We could prep some Ishmael ego, like Capote for the next one. 20 plus 7? That's not bad. What should I get for Otis? Dude, Otis has like all the best shit in the game. No meme. Every Otis ego is like goated as hell. Anything but teleport fast. So many options. So tempted by so many options. It's like a paralysis. Died 3 pounds. The thing is, no meme. 10 defense level down is like kind of good. Like no meme. But I will admit this is a bit hard to use. Double at 34, yeah, Yisung's is, yeah. Holiday is ass? Dude, hell no. What do you mean Holiday's ass? How could you say that about a Holiday? Look at a Holiday. I don't even have type 4 yet. But if I did... Damage up. 20 heal. 20 SP to 4 allies. It's goated. 2 fragility for the highest sin affinity. Same turn. Kinda goated. Attack weight? Oh my god, it's goated. She just wants to spread jolly gifts. What do I think Ryoshi's gonna be like? Oh, Jesus. Like, what the fuck is even... I don't know anything about her besides her fucking daughter. So, like... I don't know. I feel like they're gonna do like a... I feel like... Okay, they're not gonna do the same thing they did for Honglu. So... That's the difference, man. What are they gonna do? Some sort of like... What's the gimmick gonna be? That's a great question. Like, what's the gimmick? What's the gimmick? Roland mentor? Yeah, it's gonna be something like crazy that we don't even know about. It might be a syndicate thing. Like, it definitely might be a finger of some sort, or like some sort of higher up ranking officer, I guess. Behind sinking sounds good. The first Aleph? I don't know, guys. I don't think we will get an Aleph. Personally speaking, I don't think we will. I think Alephs are going to be out of bounds until after Inferno. Personally, though. But maybe it won't. You never know. Maybe we will get Aleph, but I don't think so. I don't think we will get Aleph. I don't think we will at all. The stage hazards? That's cool. Okay, hold on. Stage hazards? So, like, hold on. I gotta get the paint out. So you know how Blood Feast, right? Like, Blood Feast is like this. So, like, this is the stage, right? Yeah, let me fill in the stage real quick. This is gonna make this easier. So, like, this is the stage, okay? Oh. Gosh. And then it's like, these are your IDs. Like, oh, ba 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 ba. This is Heathcliff and Ishbel. They're chilling. Yeah, they're having a good time. The enemy. He's the enemy. You know the enemy because they're red. And then it could be like in the background, it's like budding or fire, and like, get a little bit yellow in here to like size the burning. There we go. Con 9 preview, baby. Is that the red stick, man? And then it's like, you know, they like we take damage, it's like oof. But then like they take damage, so it's like oof. So we might like get like one, I don't know, burn. Like how do I draw the? I was gonna say, how do I draw burn? How to draw? Yeah, that works. 1. I don't know, man. That's stupid. Maybe more gory. Bleh. Bleh. Blood everywhere. The mark of fire adversity. Maybe. Is this hell screen? How could you tell? But they're also bleeding, but they're bleeding Pepto-Bismol. There you go. This is like Ryoshu's dream right now. Are you guys ready for all the trigger warnings at the beginning of the game to get like doubled in Kano 9? We're gonna get like gore of our like, you know, we're gonna get like violence, we're gonna get like trauma, or trauma. What's happening? I don't know. This is the prediction for like Kano 9. I get it. Kano 9 prediction. Truly be hell. In hell we lament or something. What is it? It's Kano 9. This is C9. How do I write that out? There you go. C9. Kano 9. Why haven't they included already? I mean, that's true. To be fair, Kano 8 was pretty gory. Kano 10 prediction? I got this. Hold on. Only true stranger gamers are gonna understand this. First, I have to clean this up. Hey, wait, hold on. Time to cook a little bit. Okay, hold on. Okay. Wait. Hold on. Let me cook. Okay, hold on. That's the wrong brush. Alright, hold up. Wait, this is peak. Okay, hold on. Wait. There you go. There you go. We got Kano 10. Oh, is that the... What the fuck is this? It's Kano 10. Do you guys know? This is Kano... I got asked about Kano 10 Cedar. This is... I've never read that. I just recreated what someone told me. Can I demonstrate the extinction event? Sure, hold on. Dude, how do I like delete? Hold on. Let me just do this. Oh, I'm gonna demonstrate the extinction event. Let me draw a map of the city real quick. Oh, dude, do I try and draw a map of the city from fucking memory? Oh no. Okay, hold on, guys. Wait, guys. We're gonna do a draw. All right, new challenge alert. We're gonna try and draw a map of the city from memory. First of all, I gotta get like a nice circle going, like that. Okay, that's a good circle. I'm gonna try and base it off Urza's prediction. I'm trying to remember. It's a bit darker red than that. It's like Yeah, good enough. Okay. Oh, fuck, dude. How do they do this? Oh, I'm trying to remember Urza's art, like, Urza. I think she had it, like... I think it was like this. God, how did you... Up here? So like this? It goes like a circle. Oh, how the fuck does she do it? Like this way? No, this is like a fucking flower. How the fuck does she do it? Is that the red CD? Ezra. If I just do squares instead. I'm built different. Squares. How did she make her... Oh, how did she make hers right? Do I do like a swirly like this? Is that how I do it, maybe? Go to the path. Yeah, but I want to do it without cheating. This is like a Sharingan at this point, to be honest with you. Hold on. We're gonna try this. Hold on. We're gonna try this out of memory. Okay, I think this might be it. Hold on. That's A Corp. B. D. D. E. I feel like this is already wrong. I feel like F Corp was over here. F. Yeah, because isn't G, A, B, C, D, E, F. H Corp's like fucking up here, dude. I gotta remember. H Corp's like up here. Also, H Corp is not this thin, but. Yeah, D Corp is in E Corp. Yeah, I was about to say, it's not actually alphabetical. It's like... A is obviously here. B Corp's like here. But then C Corp is like up here. And then D Corp is here. Like, bro, who decided this? What the fuck? H Corp's in the east. No, yeah, H Corp's up here. This is where H is. Because I remember, because P Corp's up here. E Corp is way bigger? Yeah, hold on. A Corp's fine. A Corp can stay here. B Corp might be like this. I know C Corp is not that big. Is this good? Oh wait, hold on. No, this is kind of better. Yeah, hold on. This might be better. This might be better. And then E is here. F is here. Yeah, okay, hold on. This is way better. Then E is here. F is here. F. G Corp was... isn't G Corp like over here? Is G Corp here or here? I feel like G Corp's here. A Corp is wrong. B Corp is west. A and C is north of A. How is A and C is north? What? I don't... dude, how the fuck did Ezra do this, bro? How did you do this from memory, bro? This shit's hard. I need a bigger red dot at the right. Yeah, I think I might. I think it was near D Corp. G Corp's near D Corp? Like here? You know what? What if I just... I need Ezra. Or can't spell. What do you mean I can't spell? My stop point is... Hold on, I'm looking at the drive thing. I'm using this as a reference. Oh, it kind of is, like, lopsided. A Corp's there, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, hold on, I kind of had it. I kind of fucking had it, TBH. A was there, B was here, C, D's down here, E, F, G is up here. Okay, I was right. Hold on, dude. G Corp was up there, and then H is here. I Corp, J, K, I had like 7. I had like an 80. I had like an 85. I had like an 85% accuracy. I had like an 85% accuracy. I'm gonna close this. Get out of my face. Well, Jason. You know what? I was copying Ezra. Okay, so like, you know. You can blame her. Man. I got a few. Let's do some XP luxes. I've done my thread, right? Yeah, I have. A little bit of XP luck as a treat. Let me show you guys why I use the Kurikomo for my less XP. Is this too big brain? Her mind is far better off in other places. Let me show you y'all like my Slash team, by the way. I got Chef Ryoshu. I got Barbara Otis. Here. Let me show you my team. Hold on. My team is locked in as fuck. I need one more less though. Hold on. This is fine. Actually, this is fine. Boom. Don't know how to pronounce sweet or suit. Yeah, I figured it out. Recover with a cannibal? Yeah, a little bit. It's like, look, I can lose the clashes, but like, it doesn't matter. Because like Lamau, Kurikomo. Dude, why are they? What the fuck? Why are they all jumping Hong Lu, bro? What the hell did he do to them? Well, no. Before you get on me, the reason I swapped to Chef was because Kurikomo, she's Pierce. And this is a Slash weak team. Why would I have the Pierce there? In a normal team, in like a normal Kurikomo team, there's no reason to not use her. But because I thought, well, Chef's a Slash, she also has Lust, so it benefits me greatly. Not just beneficial, it's greatly benefits me. Because of the passive? Do they? They don't have a Honglu passive, do they? Not in Slash. Ow. Hey, thank you, Heathcliff. Garnering up all this juicy little blood feast. Very nice. Bam, 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 bam. Came her around. It's not coming around, guys. It's using the correct scenario. Like, why would I do it when I'm actively hampering with my success? Like, it's not like there's no agenda. I'm making it harder for myself because I'm not using appropriate IDs because of aesthetic. Bro, why did Greg you roll a whole suit? You know, I'm just saying. Also, wait, does this have a... Do they have a target Honglu passive? They didn't have a target Honglu passive. Oh, they... Oh, wait, they do prioritize Honglu? Wait, what the fuck? Wait, the fucking... Wait, why the fuck did... Wait, what? I've never had this happen to me before. The hell? I thought that shit was early in story. What the fuck's it? I'm actually like, no, my bad. But like, what the fuck? What's that doing here? I thought this shit was only story. Why do they have it in the freaking in the Lux? You get ego? No ego. It's just IDs. Regenerate hate sisters. Well, we need a little bit more bleed. Hey, nice. I'll tell you what, we've got like no S3s. Oh, it's locked in, guys. All of you who said Barber is dog, all of the Barber flamers right now, this is for you, baby. Boom, watch this. Beep this. We got 18 scissor blades. Boom. Yoink. Snip, snip. Bam. Refund me that right now. Boom. There you go. I got refunded, and now I'm at 17 again, dude. Oh my god. It's free. Now I can get another skill 3. I can loop it forever. It's easy peasy. Boop. Gotta let these guys die a little bit. Do I get another skill 3? Grace me with another skill 3? I do, but she's slow. Fuck. Yeah, but she's at the bottom. Can I get a yield my flesh? Rules of the back streets, no. Rules of the back streets, yes. Yeah. Why does she sound like a witch when she does that? Dude, this is like I've been doing this badly. Normally my my runs don't go that was a bit of a poor run, to be honest with you. Normally they're fine. Normally they're alright, actually. I dare say they're even good. That one didn't perform that well. Oh, but guess who was the MVP? By a landslide. Barber Otis. W. Otis. Massive W indeed. Oh, right. Well, you know what? Fuck it. Let's do it again. Again! Do one more. I'll do another one as a treat. Close the back streets. I want to do this. This. Is this slop? Is playing the game slop? How's it slop? I'm just playing I'm doing my XP, man. Not for me. Y'all need to stop thinking everything is slop, guys. You guys be like playing with your friends and eating ice cream is slop. The fuck does that mean? Oh, you fucking, what's this? You sit down when you piss? Dude, that's like fucking bathroom slop, bro. What the fuck are you on about? Oh, fucking, what? Oh, you left the fucking kettle on 07.56 more femtoseconds than the average user. That means you're fucking T-slopped. T-slopped? Like, what? Can I use Cassetti next? Sure. I'm slopping hard. Bro, are you playing like Fortnite? That's slop, bro. Are you fucking... I don't know. Did I catch you having fun? That's slop. T-Corp slop. No. You know the argument where it's like, grown man can't do anything these days, man. I can't do nothing these days. It's too late to do a mirror dungeon run, so I'm not doing any of that, 'cause I'm too tired. But it's too early to end it, so I'm just padding the time. Okay, see, this run is going way better than the one I just did. Perfect. Hello. Lose the clash, don't care. Unbreakable coin, baby. Yeah. That's such an insane move. And then, oh, lose the clash. Oh, I'm about to get staggered. Don't care, bro. Unbreakable coin. And then I hit you with the lenticular rend. And then I hit you with the rules of the back streets. Fuck you. To expand more. Yeah, they're expanding about 10 per year. That's what the director said. Dark Cloud Blade, it's so good. Oh, look at this. Oh, I just need a little bit more. I just need a little bit more blood. How much bleed do I have? Oh, I have enough. Oh, and this would be good. Although I would like if I had Otis passive. There we go. What's my honest reaction if it was about Aleph Ego? I would be like, holy fucking shit, it's 8th. You get an Eye Drifter? That would be good. I'm hoping for an Eye Drifter. It might be in the Buck Act though, I wouldn't be surprised. Might put Night Drifter in the Buck Act. Like how Cassetti Salt was in his Buck Act. Thank you, Barbara Otis. Boom. Double kill. 1 kill at least. I gotta reuse. Cyclone caught. Numbers you ain't ever seen. Boop. Rip Cassetti Salt. Why rip Cassetti Salt? We'll use Bloodfiend, sure, why not? Yeah, clean up, baby. Well, it is a filler Walpurgis. It's not like supposed to be a grand deal. We all expected that. We got told that like way before Arcanauts did. Roshinante, did they? Does this select color different? Barber, Princess, Priest, and Prince. Yay. Bind us rather than just dog it? Nah, fuck it, we ball. Frick it, we ball, baby. Frick it, we ball. Well, guys, remember, Gebra is still gonna get stuff, so she's still gonna be relevant in the LobCorp story. Remember, guys, the LobCorp story is the one that the Sephora are actually relevant in. Like, we have the Gebra announcer, but like that doesn't really matter because she's gonna be relevant in her like Lob one. Because like they're not always they're not really relevant in the library one. So there's no stress for that. Don Lindayu, hopefully. This point was Bryce, what am I supposed to do? You gotta lock in. Yeah, we still have a department. I mean, obviously, we have her department. Actually, hers is the next Walpurgis, actually. Remember, guys, hers is next. We have Tiferet. So hers is next. No, she's in the 8th Walpurgis because this is the 7th. Oh, the 9th. Yeah, you're right. No, she's in the 8th. No, guys, she'll be in the 8th one, guys, because that next is LobCorp, and we just got out of Tifereth's flare. We're going into Gebra's room now. How much hard blood you got, buddy? A lot. Is it Gebra or Chesed next? Chesed is after Gebra. Gebra is next. We got that, let us wear that crown. Boo. Yeah, we have Gebra next, so we get double Gebra. What is her Durante? Great question. We got no idea. Might kill the entire enemy team. Chesed announcer. Chesed announcer. do this. No lost res though. Oh, that worked. Be brutally honest, what's up? I think we'll get Iron other personalities and announcer. I was thinking that. But nah, I don't think so. Maybe we'll get like X or something. But if we get a Kali announcer, see that would be heat. If we got Kali, that would be kind of goated with the sauce. That would be kind of goated with the sauce. So I was grinding for 9 and then the fucking third warning started playing, what would my reaction be? I would be like, I'd be like, holy shit! Oh my god! Like that, probably. Excuse me. I'm like, no fucking way, dude, holy shit! But like, actually be genuine about it, like... You know, I'd actually have like a genuine reaction. What's the difference between Garyon and Bino? Well, Garyon was what? Garyon was like before Lobotomy Corporation. Garyon is what we saw in Hong Lu's story, and Bino is after that. Oh, almost got him. Almost got the ass. Ooh. Yeah, look at my team, bruh. We got all this juicy hard blood and shit. Y'all love to see it. There we go. You think that's 2 Aleph and 1 Ego or Ego? I think it'd be neither, to be honest with you. I don't think it'll be any IDs. I think Aleph will only be Ego until like way later. Ah, there we go. Overture. Ooh. Oh yeah. I mean, this is a slash week. I should save for the Engelbahn limit. That is true. I should probably stop grinding and save. We'll probably stop after this. Hey, look, there it is. Alright, no more stalling. I didn't really have anything to do. We finished discussing all the Walpurgis stuff. I kind of like... It was kind of that bit where it's like you awkwardly finish a little too, like, a little early, but it's too early to where you're like, okay, we're done. So you have, it's like when you finish an exam, but you finish too early before everyone else, so you have to sit there, like, fucking twiddling your thumbs for like 40 minutes. I was gonna do a run, but that takes too long to like doing it, so... I guess we'll save our Enconfallen. 300 on the dot, that's not bad. We'll save our 300 Enconfallen for tomorrow. I have to do 2 runs. Yeah, I gotta do a run tomorrow. But yeah, so that's gonna be it then, guys. If you are interested in what we discussed here today, at the beginning of the video is where we did all of the patch and the ID discussion. If you're interested in just my ID thoughts, we have the video, the YouTube video after the live stream as well that is already uploaded. And yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for today. Tomorrow we're gonna be up for another Limbus banger. Probably doing some runs and shit, maybe a challenge run. We'll figure out what we're doing tomorrow, but we'll definitely do some sort of run, maybe an EX run, and or some lighter ones. We'll figure it out. But yeah, that's gonna be it, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Hope you guys had fun. Maybe toward the later end, it got a bit mid, but that's fine. You know what? You can't always be 100%. You know what I'm saying? You guys take care. Have a good one. I'll see you all tomorrow. All right. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.